Hey, Mikey,
Yo,
you know how you had companions at the door?
which one?
Companions from Salvatore.
Oh, the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of loved it, so ordered the entire series.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah,
Let me know how it goes.
I didn't realize it was multi-author, but I find that pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Every other book in the companion series is written by a different author.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey,
Okay.
speaking of nerdy stuff, I have a new shirt.
Crit. The crit happens.
It's a natural one. It's a natural
Yeah.
one.
Yes!
No.
So much yes!
No. That one's a nasty.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Eli, and tonight I will be your host and dungeon master, and we'll be joined by Nikki, Sandy, Marky, Mikey, Amelia, and Jason as we continue our way through this campaign I happily call Ojit's Tower. Now, last session, unfortunately, it was 2 weeks ago because my work so rudely decided to roster me on a Friday night. Very, very unnice of them. Our band of motley associates have ventured into the mines to investigate the loud clanging and banging and the large humanoid figure that had been driven the miners from the mid-levels of the mine. As they headed into the mid-level mine proper, they found the deepest sections filled with salty and obscuring fog that clugged to the ground and steadily got thicker as they went on. Ash, Gramps, Vonnir, and Turtank stumbled upon some unstable ground as they chaotically roamed the tunnels, not paying any attention to their environment. The unstable ground broke free a section of the tunnels, which collapsed in, hitting all except for Ash, who nimbly dodged aside. Getting further into the tunnels, Turtank heard a skittering, just as Turtank was bitten by something hidden in the fog. Thinking quickly, Turtank grabbed a hold of the creature, hoisting it above the fog's cover, revealing a strange, rust-coloured, insect-like creature. The party found themselves under attack by a few of these creatures, which could seem to cause steel to rust and rot rapidly. Through the combined efforts of Vonnir and a panicking Vonnir, the party were able to deal with them using gust of wind spells, Ash's short swords, and Gramps' chainmail suffering some damage in the fight. Pushing further ahead, the group found a room filled with dense fog. Vonnir, using the last of his gust of wind spell, cleared the room of fog, revealing more of those rust monsters. Clambering over the large bronze mechanical humanoid figure of a shield guardian, whose armor seemed to have been eaten away by the creatures. Vonnir's use of the gust of wind spell seemed to anger the guardian, who then began to attack the party, creating a rather effective bottleneck in the tunnel entrance. The rust monsters smelling fresh iron and steel began to attack the party as well. During this fight, Vonnir's shield suffered some damage and Ash's short swords were nearly destroyed. However, the Vonnir prevailed against the somewhat indecisive shield guardian with a blast of her lightning-shaped magical missiles. The guardian who fell, ripping open an undamaged crate in the process, as his body slammed into the ground. A robed arm flopped out of the crate, holding an amulet that flickered before shattering as the magical energies powering the shield guardian dissipated. And with that, we jump back into it as the party begins to investigate the chamber.
I would like to rip a leg off the iron golem and
Gramps goes, "Don't eat it!"
No, I'm not eating. I'm weaponizing.
Okay, roll an athletics check. Yeah, it's firmly a fix. You're not ripping that thing off.
I kick it.
Can I see if the robe mage has anything on him?
I'm actually pretty sure that Ash was investigating that. That's what was last said. So we'll let Ash have a crack at that.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So, yeah, Ash heading over towards the crates. You get a closer look at the body of the robed figure, and it. Actually, I'll tell you what. Roll me a investigation check real quick. Okay, yeah, with a 25, you're set. Okay, you get a closer look at the body of the robed figure. It reveals that they were a female air gensai. She was gagged with a cloth that had a large stone tied in it and had been stuffed in her mouth. Her hands and feet were manacled, and they looked like they were bound to the crate itself in such a way that would make it practically impossible to move your arms or legs. You find a broken lockpick inside broken lockpick inside one of the manacles holding her left hand. Her right hand that clutched the shattered amulet had a signet ring emblazoned with a small green and purple jester's hat enameled on the face. Under the robes, you see that the armor she wore was once white leather. At least it was until her decaying body fluid and other genetic mess ruined it. At her side, you see a very beautiful short sword. It's a Xiphos style short sword. And a fine dagger. And both of these are linked together with an impossibly light and fine silvery platinum chain. You also find a small pack that contains spoiled rations, a slashed open water skin, a plain bamboo flute, and a small jar that contains cloudy air, and a gem pouch that contains 25 blue gems, 3 green gems, 1 red gem, and 7 purple gems. You also come across a rolled up piece of parchment hidden in her left sleeve of her robe. The parchment is heavily soiled by the bodily rot and is very difficult to read.
Has Eli dropped out? He's frozen for me too.
I can see him moving, I just can't hear him.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
It was possibly because I'd stopped talking.
No, you were like perfectly still.
Yeah, I stopped and I wasn't talking.
Mid-sentence!
No, not mid-sentence, I finished.
That contain.
I think you
That contains 25 blue gems, 3 green gems, 1 red gem, and 7 purple gems.
Can I keep the head of the rock golem like a bowling ball?
You can try and kick it if you want.
Not kick it, keep it.
You'd have to try and rip it off, and with your athletics check, no.
Now, what if I sever it?
Roll an attack against it then.
Sandy asked if she could recognize that it was the same race as her. Like our internet's fucking up for her, so she keeps dropping it.
Yeah, okay. Looking at it, like, yeah, the features are very similar.
No.
Yeah, you're not taking that head. The features are with an 8 for that roll. That's not happening. With the features across it, yeah, you'd recognize that it's the same race, just different subspecies, I guess, subrace. And you'd recognize straight away that it's an air genasi. Genasi. Or genocide. Whatever you want to call it. Genocide.
Were air and fire like at odds with each other?
No, not that you're aware of.
Until the Fire Nation attacked.
I take a moment to like feel sorry for it, and then I spot the short sword and the dagger, and I like squeak.
Okay.
And can I check for any traps or anything?
You sure can. Roll a investigation check. Yeah, to the best of your knowledge, best of your ability, you can't see any traps or anything else around.
No, they can't hear you.
I pick it all up.
Okay.
Am I able to like look at the robot and see if there's anything on it, like anything indicating
Powering device?
any information about what's happening?
Yeah. Have a look at, so roll a Arcana check. Or
What was that one?
Roll an Arcana check or a Intelligence check. Whichever you'd prefer. Okay, yeah, you can see that the Shield Guardian was in fact powered by magic. You can clearly tell that whatever magic was powering it has expired, and that the thing is completely non-salvageable.
Right, so like no emblems or anything like that matching the wizard. person.
No, what you would have noticed is that the amulet that the robed figure had dropped when the crate was smashed open by the Shield Guardian, smashing open the crates when it fell, it shattered, and because of that, it shattered at the same time that the glowing elements on the Shield Guardian faded. So
Okay.
you can tell that pretty clearly that the two were linked together, and now the magic's gone.
Very much.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yes.
While this is all going on, Gramps is just going to start dawdling off and wandering around. And these openings, can he see anything outside of them, or are they blocked off? Or
It's like another tunnel.
oh, okay.
What's up ahead?
Yeah. So the flute and everything that was in there, Gramps is going to cast detect magic in the room.
The flute? Oh, yeah. Yep, okay. Okay, yeah. So you can clearly see that the short sword, the dagger, and the fine chain are all magical.
Yep. Nothing from anything else?
No, nothing else is magical that you can see.
Okay. Well, then I'll have this up for the next 10 minutes as we're sort of walking around. And, oh wait, can anyone hear Sandy?
No.
No.
Try again. Nope.
Is your microphone plugged in?
Yeah. He
Did you turn it off and on again?
said yes. Okay, so Gramps can see down the tunnel.
Taking note that looking through these tunnels, the fog is starting to roll back in. The gust of wind that had cleared everything out is faded, and now the fog is slowly filling up the space again.
Okay.
What
What's
does it
the
look-
green thing that you've scribbled?
That was just the denseness of the fog when you first were coming down that way.
Oh, yep.
Can we
Oh.
go down?
Yeah.
What would you like to do, Von Dracula?
I want to go down.
Oh, there's a door down there
Say.
too? What?
Come! I know the way! I know the way!
It might be
But
from-
which way? There are so many options.
Okay. Ash.
Alright.
Looking at the short sword and the dagger. We'll go through it one step at a time, and then I'll link it all to you, so you've got it on hand. And Jason will probably have to help out with this, because I couldn't do this in advance, because I didn't know who was going to end up with it all. But, so looking at the short sword, you see it's a beautiful Xiphos, inlaid with platinum depictions of butterflies fluttering along the flats of the blade. A large round-cut clear gem is set in the center of the crossguard, and the word filigree can be seen floating and tumbling freely inside the perfectly clear gemstone. The crossguard itself has been subtly shaped to resemble the Hyperotus chrysalis butterfly. When the sword is moved, the crossguard has a faint purplish sheen to it. The pommel of the sword has an unusual purple gem set in it. The gem itself is a beautiful inlay of the Hyperotus chrysalis butterfly. A fine chain joins filigree to the dagger. So filigree counts as a +1 short sword. Looking at the dagger is a leaf-bladed design of exceptionally fine quality. Its leaf-like shape shape to the blade makes it a fine cutting instrument, making it more suited to slashing than piercing. The face of the blade is plain, except for the deeply etched word apogee running along the length of the flat of the blade, on both sides. The blade's grind has the image of a comet in motion. As the dagger is moved through the air, the comet moves along the blade's grind, in the direction the blade is travelling. Whenever the blade is moved in a full circle, the comet disappears when it passes through the guard, only to appear again at the other side of the grind. The rather plain pommel has the fine chain attaching it to filigree. Now, looking at the apogee counts as just a silver dagger, but it deals an extra +1 damage. So you don't get an extra. It's not a +1 dagger. You don't get the damage on, you don't get the extra on the attack roll, but dealing damage, you do get that. Looking at the chain itself, it's impossibly fine and practically weightless. It's 10 foot long in total. The platinum chain attaches filigree to apogee. The chain is designed in such a way that the links resemble butterflies and comets flying around each other. The chain itself emanates a faint magical aura. Anyone holding onto the pair of weapons instinctively knows that the chain is magical in nature. It is amazingly strong and yet impossibly fragile. Using the chain for anything other than retaining apogee to filigree is likely to break the enchantment. As long as the chain remains intact, the wielder of filigree and apogee can make a second attack of opportunity against the same creature that triggered the attack of opportunity that the wielder is attempting to attack. The attack is made by throwing apogee in a wide arc at the full extent of the chain, so 10 foot, like a comet passing by a star. If there is an obstacle or a different creature that would prevent the chain or apogee from completing the arc, then the attack will be made against the offending obtrusion. The path of the swing must always start from a minimum of 135 degrees from the target. Yeah, I'm going to send all of that through. I did say that one. So, yeah. So basically how that works is if you wanted to make an attack of opportunity against someone, so say for instance in this case that Gramps' Rasengan was trying to move away from you, you would get your first attack of opportunity with your short sword, and then when it moves to this point, you'd be able to make your second attack of opportunity, because it's 10 feet away from you, using apogee. However, the thing you have to remember is that whenever you go to launch it, you have to launch it from this angle. And so that's the arc. So if anything is in between where you start the attack and where your target is, the attack will be made against them. That includes friendly units and like boulders or anything like that.
So wait, you can pick a side though. Where it is
either side.
Right.
Yeah, either side.
Dude, that's fucking dope.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a
The
butterfly.
fucking meteor.
Yeah.
Did you choose those names?
Yeah, I picked them. That's entirely
Have
me.
you met Eli?
Is that because of the apogee and peregrine?
No, it's because filigree is the sword. It's inlaid with beautiful filigree of butterflies and shit. Apogee is the peak of a curve or peak of an arc, and comets and a lot of astrology when you're dealing with astronomy, when you're dealing with things in motion, especially when they're orbiting things, they have an apogee, a point where it is the furthest away from its and
the perigee, which is close to the filigree, is the closest point from the Earth.
Yeah, the perigee.
So it's just like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I am absolutely stoked. I love this. Thank you.
And I can hear you.
There you go.
No, she's using my microphone.
That's cool. Yeah, so that is, now you have that sitting in your handouts, so you can see what that is all about. I will actually link it to Vonnir, so he can help create those 2 items for you. Worst case scenario, I will do it during a break or whatever. But
Speaking of which, Turtank would like a long rest to get his health back. And I'm putting that to a vote.
You need some help there, young man.
I could use some health.
You've had him out of spells. So,
maybe you should sleep.
Okay. You know what happened last time you tried to put me to bed?
I cover my nuts.
Gramps does cure wounds at 1 second.
I would like a rest because I have very little magic left.
Yeah. Wait, you say a long rest or a short rest?
Long rest for health and rage.
Well, I don't think we can spend 8 hours sleeping in here.
Why not? The golem could be the big spoon for like 3 people.
Well, I've only used them,
2 spells so far.
so I'm still pretty good, solid on spells.
We
Well,
know you
I'm-
wet your pants.
I guess if we
The
stay here
rest
for
wants
too
to-
long, the fog's gonna come back and we're gonna be totally
So
screwed.
too long. What?
Hello?
hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So loud.
Oh my god, yes, I fixed
I
it.
do need to turn the volume down though.
I was just saying, if we stay here for too long, the fog's gonna come back like with a vengeance. So we better off just keep on going for now, I reckon.
Okay.
As
We
much
might
as
be
I
able
wanna.
to do a short rest.
Oh, I can either myself or not Turtank. Vonnir can dump a healer. I'm happy to do it, but I have 1 second level spell left and 1 first level spell left.
Would like health so I can hit things.
I'm good with health.
What's it going
Alright,
now?
I'll dump a cure wounds at level 2 into Turtank.
I mean, can I give someone my health potion? Is that a thing?
You most certainly can. There's no reason why you can't.
No, like handing over someone your health potion, that seems awfully complicated to me.
I'm pretty sure there's got to be like a whole skill procession check to see if you can
At
manage,
least,
manage to hand it over.
Like, you could drop it, you know?
It's quite
Oh,
possible.
you don't know, but Dracula's pretty clumsy.
Hey, Sandy.
Yes?
With all those gems and those cool swords that you found, I don't owe you anything anymore. Okay, bye.
Oh shit.
Gramps walks up to Turtank and
Do you want me to just use my health potion so you're not using a magic spell, which you might need in a battle?
too late. He walks up
Okay,
and
fine.
gently cups Turtank's balls, and
Where all of the energy is stored.
and then yeah, dumps.
And then
that
whispers,
19
just go with it.
Then puts his finger over his lips. Puts, 19 hit points.
Sleep giant night.
Please tell me you use the other hand.
19 hit points, buddy.
Whoa, thank you. I am good. I am stocked.
Ash, did you happen to take a look at that rolled up bit of parchment that you also found? Was that something you were doing, or did you forget about it? Or
It doesn't say that there's a parchment that
there is a parchment there. I did say that you did find a parchment.
and
I
a
just
parchment.
I didn't link that particular
Oh.
part.
Oh,
So-
okay, sorry, a flute and a parchment. Yes. I, after admiring my beautiful, amazing fucking equipment, I
Test the sharpness on the parchment.
I open the parchment and have a look. Sort of
Okay.
like in a corner, just looking privately, like casually, like yeah, just looking, nothing here, it's cool.
All right, yeah. So looking at
In the
it,
middle of
it
the room.
is very difficult to read. It is partially ruined by the bodily rot that has seeped through this woman's clothes. You can tell that she's been there for a while. If you want to have a another look at, like a proper look at it, roll me a investigation check.
Does anyone have that spell that fixes things?
Oh, you mean mending?
I have that.
Yeah, I think. Wait, let me just look at this.
I just wanted to point out, I don't think you can do any, not that this matters with that roll, but I don't think you can do an investigation and then do another investigation straight after.
Yeah, the same character couldn't do it.
Okay.
I would sort of fill in with the fact of mending. Mending will mend the parchment, won't do
Paper,
anything
but not
for the words on it. So it would just clean the parchment, but it would also remove everything that is under the stains. So it would.
Oh,
It wouldn't make.
I thought
any...
it would restore it back
No.
to its old state.
Because you're targeting. You have to target the parchment. The ink is something else on top of it. If you were to do mending on the ink, you would get a blob of ink.
Yeah, okay.
Because
All
it's
right.
not. The words aren't a physical object. Yeah.
They're not a physical object of the parchment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that, you can make out that it is signed. The easiest part to read is that it's signed Pantomime. Then going back up to the top of the parchment, it says, well, near the top anyway, it says, "Take care, new agent." And there's 5 words, and then the word "dangerous." A little bit further down, you read "the originals," then 3 words that are completely obscured, "dismantle," 3 more words, and "Redwater." A little bit further down again, you can make out "Isul," and then 4 words, and then "should," 2 more words, and then "soon." And then towards the very bottom, "the bard knows more."
You don't happen to have that as a linkable item.
I will make that as a handout, yes.
Thank you. I go, I don't understand this at all, and you say, "Hey guys, can you come have a look at this and maybe
I
make
snatched it
sense
out of
out
my
of
hand.
it?"
While you're over there in the corner, inconspicuously,
I
I'll
look
walk up.
at Thaevan and I say, "You give that back right now. I am not happy with you as it is.
Do I get
You
a look
are
at the
being
book and I have to
very-
read it?
Very rude, and I am showing you all anyway. I'm not keeping secrets like you are. So Thaevan,
Stacks on Thaevan!
if you want your
Stacks on
balls,
Yeah, hand
jumps
it
on
over.
Thaevan.
we're all surrounding you.
I point and I say, "That is paper."
Well spotted, Turting.
There we
And
go.
once again,
Did Thaevan say he handed it back?
Yes.
I'd argue it's parchment, actually.
well, Turting's not exactly the smartest character.
That's right, Totank, it is. Good job, buddy.
That's right. You can call me Investigator Turtang.
It reminds me
But
of
I think
teaching
it's
Rob how to
parchment.
read.
I think this should be maybe addressed once we get out of this hellhole. What are we all
Just
thinking? I'm
you.
quite low on spells. I have 1 spell left, but I do have my trusty armor. No, it's right.
You mean your rusty armor instead of trusty?
Trusty Rust.
Okay, so who has
Not
the
my
parchment?
rusty trombone.
I vote forward. I'm ready to hit things.
Who has the parchment though?
I do.
Okay, cool. You keep hold of it.
I'll put it in my
Everybody
bag.
has a
It's
quick
currently
glance at
linked.
it. We'll go cool. That's really dodgy words on parchment. Can any of us actually understand what's going on, or it's all no, but it doesn't really signify much to it.
That's telling, isn't it?
It's linked to everyone, so everyone has that as a handout. You can all refer to it whenever you want.
Cool. So everybody knows what's going on with the paper with the random words. Let's move forward, and I vote for going down.
I bet you do.
Hey.
Which, by the way, at this particular point, your spiritual weapon is dead.
Gramps looks at Von Druxilla and goes, I'm in!
Oh yeah, you
Forward.
are.
I've got my food.
Okay, so are you guys heading on further on down?
Heading in.
Alright, so at this particular point, the fog has become really thick again, so you can barely see. But walking along, as you're continuing on down, and you get to about this area, you start to notice that it slopes down quite dramatically. It's going down in a bit of a spiral. I'll just reveal all of this because this is no big deal. So, yeah, so you spiral on down and you end up finding your way to a big, heavy set of doors. So, it's alright, just stay there. I don't have a map for you to go into. It's okay, I'm going to do theatre of the mind here. It's all good. So, let me just find where...
Gramps is just hanging out behind Von Druxilla. He kind of likes the view.
Okay. It's fair, I suppose.
Yeah, I would too. All those scales.
Is there a kitty I can pat?
Her tank is currently occupied.
So I can't pat any pussy?
Oh, dear.
You could definitely. I don't know if you're doing it a
Did
corner
you
by yourself
seriously
there.
ask
You
that
can definitely
just
do
to
it.
have that pun? Seriously?
Yeah, she did. She did.
I mean, she's in a corner on her own. Like,
I
I'm
don't-
sure she could find something to pat.
I don't...
If it came naturally, I'd be fine with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
love
and
it.
considering you are in an incredibly foggy, sort of misty tunnel, no one's going to see you if you were to slide a hand in, so let that one sit as it may.
How do you like that?
But anyway, so as you're continuing down, open up these doors and continue on down into the lower levels, you find that it's filled with the sound of dripping water. The fog has sort of gotten to a point where it seems to have settled off, almost like it's condensing against the walls, and it's no longer much of an issue. So you find that it's the sound of dripping water is everywhere. There are clear salt deposits on the stone walls. The tunnel floor have frequent puddles and pools along the way. The rock is clearly unstable in places. There are caverns branching off from the tunnel in places, and many are completely flooded. The ore that can be found in the walls of the cavern seems to be gemstones and some precious metals. However, they seem to be in rock that does not seem stable. The cavern at the end of the tunnel seems to be the largest and mostly flooded, with the exception of a 4-foot wide winding path that heads out into nearly the center of the cavern. It's approximately 100 feet in a regular diameter. The water surrounding the end of the path is black and obviously deep. The water seems to flick and swish, as though something is gracefully swimming in it not far from the surface.
So who noticed this, or we all do?
I'd say it's like pretty evident. If you're looking over the whole water kind of like swishes a little bit.
What's the light like down here?
It's pretty poor, but I'm assuming that there's light cantrips being used.
I'm gonna throw a rock in the water and see what happens.
Okay.
Gramps grabs his hand and says, "Don't disturb the water."
But I'm on land.
Okay, go ahead.
Roll a athletics check to see how far you can lob this thing. What sort of size rock are you finding? Like,
Oh, like as big as my fist.
okay, no worries. Okay, with a 9,
wow.
you throw it, and it's a really good throw. If you were 4.
Gramps takes 3 steps and picks the rocks up.
it lands in the water with a kasploosh, and the ripples ripple out from there, and the swishing over the whole cavern pool dies down.
Tank, go have a look in the pool.
Hang on, he's just coming back. He's missed a lot of this.
I am well informed and nodding at everything you say.
Tank, go put your head in the water and see where that fish went.
I drop my axe and dive straight in.
Okay.
I run to the edge after him.
All right. So,
I pick up another rock.
okay, so Turtank diving into the water, the ripples out quite dramatically. Actually, roll me a acrobatics check. Let's see how nice of a dive you do.
Belly flop.
I'm going for a swan.
Can I also prepare a produce flame?
Sure.
I can't find my acrobatics.
It's
It's in the hay.
Okay, reasonably elegantly, you dive into the water.
Forward walk.
Yeah,
Excuse you.
I would say this motion almost seems natural to Turtank. It's not necessarily the most flawless, but seems to be quite well practiced.
Wait, important question. Where's the cat?
With the axe.
Okay.
Yeah, so you dive. Yes, so you dive into the water and you look around. The water is pitch black. It is very deep, and your dark vision shows 30 feet, but you can't really see anything in there.
I surface and I say, fish is gone. And I climb out.
Is there anything else in the room other than the big pool of water?
No, it's just like a natural cavern that's got like this natural rock path that leads out towards the center of the room.
Well, it seems that our options are either to go diving with some unknown fish entity, or just go back the way we came. I mean, I think our job was to sort out the big rock monster thing.
That's true, and we can drink.
But there are gems stuck in the walls. Are we gonna deal with that?
What? There's what?
I was,
Were
about
they,
to bring
like-
I was about to bring that up. Thanks for Druxilla.
Yeah, I'm like, there's like, the walls are covered in gems. Like, I know it's not the most secure walling, but, you know, maybe we can try and get some gems.
Turtank throws a rock at the wall.
Yes.
No, Turtank!
Roll a athletics check.
Ha!
15? No,
Five.
5. I am so gloriously strong in my state.
You throw the rock.
The rock hits Vonnir.
It hits the wall, and it hitting the wall doesn't seem to do a lot, but you do see that there is like crumbling dust and a little bit of rock shift along the wall. The wall itself seems very unstable.
Turtank picks up another rock.
I also pick up a rock.
Okay.
I'm joining in. I'm gonna beat you.
Gramps, back the fuck up.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Just so that we can keep track of how this is going, how this is working, I'm gonna move you guys somewhere else.
I would like to check that we're not next to said wall. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm outlining how I'm imagining it's looking like, right? So I'm gonna say that roughly here is where you're aiming, right? I'm imagining this is
And does-
kind of how you guys are standing around. Does that seem about right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Where-
I'll probably
where
swap
was
with
the-
Vonnir, but yeah.
It was the entrance that we came in.
Well, actually, to be fair, you're in a tunnel, right?
Oh, okay.
Grand
Is that-
I like this plan much less.
Gramps pops up and says, "Guys, if this wall collapses, we're all fucked.
I can
I
understand.
can understand the allure of
doesn't.
maybe get."
But is it the whole wall on the right of us?
Just when the gems are...
There are loose sections that seem unstable the whole way along. There are some sections that seem quite strong and stable, but it seems like all of the veins of gems and precious metals have been picked clean except for the areas that are very unstable.
Gramps says, I have a really, really bad feeling about this. If that section of wall collapses, it could be load bearing and would bring down extra weight upon the wall that looks strong, in which case it would crush us down here and we'd all be dead.
I look Gramps in the eye and I cast Mage Hand.
That's a great idea, except that I'm leaving now. I go back towards the entrance.
I run out of the corridor. I've been proven wrong, and I have no interest in heavy walls.
Okay, so 30 feet. So where exactly is the gems?
They're all
And
over
can
the
I see
place.
them?
Like, yeah, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, there's gems there, 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 but they're all in unstable places. The whole wall, like along the corridor, there are gems everywhere, but everything where the gems are looks unstable. So it doesn't matter where you pick, you know.
Are the gems like connected in big piles, or are they just little gems that I could possibly take one out at a time?
Roll a investigation check with disadvantage. Well, actually, probably be perception. Roll a perception check.
I should have done it.
There are some parts that look like they could be small, but there are other parts that, you know, they look like pretty sizable chunks. It's hard to really tell. It could be a small gem that is near the surface, or it could be part of a much larger gem that is, you know, hidden behind the rest of the wall. You've got no experience in mining, and have no way of telling exactly.
Guys, I am going to stand underneath the ridge of this door, and I'm going to pick the smallest gem.
So I need to clarify. The tunnels are like sort of mad long and winding. The door is like 500, 1,000 feet away. So the tunnels themselves are winding all over the place, and there are some sections that look sturdy and some sections that don't. But the sections that do look sturdy aren't very stable.
Gramps says,
aren't very big.
The master miners, who are the dwarves, have already come through here. If they thought that it could be taken, they would have taken it. You're probably going to entomb yourself if you risk taking them out. Why don't we go through the puddle of fucking inky blackness? That seems far less dangerous than what you're planning.
Look, I will do that, but there's free gems and I want it. Does anybody have anything that will like protect us in like a cone shape?
Nope.
I have an idea, and I pick up Ash and run towards the puddle.
Look at the gems.
Roll a athletics check, opposed by Ash's athletics or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
15.
Bitch.
Oh no!
So
Yeah.
Ash is 19. So Ash manages to dodge out of the way of Turtank's grasping hands.
T keeps running into the wall.
Oh no!
If you got a quick one, I reckon it would have. I say, all right, you guys go on ahead. I'm doing this and I'm running.
We all go on ahead.
Okay, so
Ash?
I would like to point out that, as I said, the tunnel meanders along. So if you follow the line, this roughly is where the door is. Down in this direction is where the water is.
Ah, fuck. I'm doing it on the way out, guys.
No, that's what I'm saying, Ash. If you can't outrun a collapse.
I can and I will, but I will do it later. It's fine. I'll just come back.
Grant whispers to Turtank, "We're knocking her out."
Do I hear
It
this?
was a whisper.
From across a tunnel.
Yeah, no, I'd say you wouldn't have
Yeah,
heard
you're
that.
distracted.
Okay,
I'm
so
a bit too sad. That's fine.
so are you guys planning on going swimming? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
I am swimming.
I most certainly am not, because I'm in plate mail. I will think like a fucking 65-year-old
I'm pretty sure you're in chainmail, but yes.
chainmail.
Alright. Well,
My picture's
I...
Wait, before we go in the water, can I like do? I think it's lightning breath. Can I do that and like kill anything that's in the water?
You can certainly try.
Oh my god, do it. I want to see like 10 mermen just start floating.
Yeah,
back down.
Best battle ever.
we killed Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
So is that short rest still out of options? Because if we're gonna have an underwater battle, I've only got 18 hit points out of 33.
You're joking, underwater battle, we're all screwed.
Okay.
That metagaming pigeon, damn it.
Alright, I put my axe down, I put my pack down so I'm nice and light.
Wait,
I put Terra down
before you do any of this, Von Drexler, are you doing the lightning breath? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Click your thing and mark it off.
I click my thing and do what?
Click your thing so it does the attack and mark it off on your character sheet.
Isn't that a racial
It's a
trait?
yeah. I don't know
it's-
how to.
But I gave you a button for that. It should be in your attacks. Yep,
Ash.
it's there in attacks and spellcasting. It's right down the very bottom. There you go. And you've got Lightning Breath up next to Arcane Recovery. So mark that one off.
Gramps asks, wouldn't it be more ideal to send someone who is a quite good swimmer with great constitution? I mean, they can hold their breath for a really long time, just to go scope things out before the rest of us all jump in and protect.
So wait, that did nothing.
I've still got to calculate it.
Calculation.
Sounds mathematical.
Caw-caw. Caw-caw.
I put all my gear down as the calculations are happening. I put my hat on Terra and I say, Terra is in charge. And I get ready to jump in.
Gramps looks at him solemnly. Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay, so as Von Drexler, do you want to describe how your Lightning Breath looks?
So because it's lightning breath, as I'm drawing the breath into me, you see like little flickers of like lightning kind of like going up my body, all centering towards my mouth, and then as I open my mouth, all this lightning just shoots. All this lightning just shoots out of it and like hits the water with force, and like bit of a splash happens as like it just hits the water and just everything just kind of turns into like this slightly electrifying water
Yeah.
thing.
So as the breath hits
Toaster in the bath.
as the breath hits the water, there is an immediate eruption of steam as it flash boils a section of the water. The lightning arcs across the surface, and you imagine it's diving deep into the water as well. The water bubbles and roils near where the lightning breath hits it, and all around in probably about a 40-foot circle around the lightning breath. It bubbles and roils around in that area. Then after the breath sort of expires, you just have the residual ripples and steady stream of steam coming off the water. Watching for a while as like the flickers of electricity that's sort of arcing across the surface of the water begin to die down, you start to notice a bit more movement in the water.
I pick my axe back up and
Eels.
I say, Tara, good job, I'm back.
Gramps stops rubbing his nipples and pays attention to the water.
What did you say, Gramps? You're...
Never mind. Never mind.
No, what are you doing with the water?
Pardon?
What were you doing with the water?
He
No, I
wasn't
wasn't doing anything with the water.
Okay.
He was rubbing his nipples while he was bored.
Okay.
Well, I was watching Von Dracula do a thing. So
Right.
while that's happening,
So currently you now have nipple chafe. Congratulations. But anyway, yeah. So there's a lot more movement in the water. What are you
can we
doing?
see anything, or is it all turmoil at the moment?
It's a bit of turmoil at the moment. Roll a perception check. Just one of you.
I declare war on the puddle.
I stick my mage hand in.
Does it
Yeah, you do. Perception, go. I rolled a 10!
Buddy.
It looks like roiling water. It's pretty hard to see, especially considering you're human.
Gramps turns around and puts a light cantrip on Turtank's forehead and shoves his head underwater.
I give him the thumbs up, bubbles everywhere, and I'm looking around underwater for something to hit.
Just holding onto his ears, kind of like those scuba diver things, you know? Like,
Totes, like, boop.
So basically, as soon as you stick your head in the water, you find yourself face to face with a trident pointing at your face.
Perfect. Alright,
I'm holding your ears, so you can't do anything about it.
with Gramps putting weight on my head, I just dive into the water and start punching this thing.
And as you do, you get
Shit.
hit by the trident. Now, I'm gonna count that. This is not how I expected things to go. As per usual.
What do you mean?
I mean, if they're just waiting back and letting these guys get killed.
I'm looking for an opportunity to kick Vonnir into the water. Just wave.
Hey, I mean, you guys want to get yourselves killed? I mean, be my guest.
I'm busy
And
killing.
you haven't
was
been
trying to
contributing to
kill
anything.
Before I got into the water.
I was
didn't turn out
contributing
too
to my stomach.
So, Turtank, you take 6 points of piercing damage.
Very well.
With my, did I see this happen? Can I use my
no.
mage hand to try and
No,
grab it?
you wouldn't have seen this happen because it is under the water.
So I'm holding onto his ears, right?
Yeah.
Do I feel the impact of the spiky thing?
Yeah, you definitely feel like a pushback as the trident slams into
I
Turtank's
would
face.
yank him back.
And
I'd pull him back out of the
hold
water.
of this thing.
Can I?
Hold on, one at a time.
With a trident out of his forehead, I said to him, "What did you see, man?"
So actually, as you pull him
Get it?
out, you find the trident is still stuck in his face. He's kind of like got the... This is going to be rather awkward to describe, but he's kind of got the long section of the trident, the middle spine, in his mouth, and the two other spines through his cheek. He's unable to speak at the moment.
That's okay, I could point.
Could I ask? But since he had the light on his face, wouldn't
Yep.
I be able to see what's under there? Because like there's a light and there's a trident that's just gone up, and then
The water is black.
Can I take some initiative? Because as soon as I saw this thing, I went at it, and I want to drag it out of the water with me.
Okay. Roll a... Well, actually, it wouldn't matter because you grabbed a hold of the trident and you dragged the trident out and it's stuck in your face. So you did the thing.
So it's attached to the other end?
No, you just grabbed a hold of the
Is it
trident.
hanging out of the air?
The trident is hanging out of his face and he's grabbed a hold of the trident.
No, I wanted to grab the thing.
There's nothing on the other end.
Ah. Well, I got
think we need to get
try.
spear.
I was about to say you gotta try it now. Now we back away from the water, a merman's only weakness.
Can I just ask? Could we, if I used pittons, would we be able to use some pittons and rope to get across to the other side?
There's no other side. It is like a circular sort of chamber with a path that leads out into the middle of the water.
Then I yell out to the water, "Come out and fight me, you fuckers!" Really? Yes.
At that, you just see
tank and go, yeah.
You see a large bubble erupt not too far away, but that's it.
And I keep cursing at them and yelling at them.
So there's really no point to this room.
Yeah, there is. I take the trident as gently as I can out of my face.
Roll a medicine check.
Yeah.
Can I assist him?
Yeah, I'll let you assist.
First.
I'm just imagining you grabbing a hold of the hand and trying to yank it out of his face.
With
That's how it's
Ash's feet on either side of his cheeks, just yanking on it.
Perfect. As long as
on his chest, more like.
Okay.
With advantage.
Roll again with advantage.
Oh my goodness, Tank, that was a 5.
You are so lucky. Come on, Tank.
perfect.
Okay, so yanking
That's
yanking at the trident, you manage to tear it free of your face. You also tear 2 giant chunks out of your cheeks.
I lick the hole.
You go to lick the hole and you poke your tongue straight through the holes.
Perfect.
You have
Yeah.
2
All
big
right, I've got.
open wounds in your cheeks.
I am ready for a fight. I drop my trousers and piss in the water.
Make some blood and urine.
Okay, so you're pissing in the water?
Gramps yells out to Vonnir and says, "Hey, dwarf man, come here. Be a use, will you?"
Dorian says,
"What?"
No, we lost him.
he said, and says, and then you cut out for me.
Oh, I said, "Come out here and be of use, will you? Could use with some healing, and I'm nearly out of spells."
I'm nearly out of piss.
I mean, you're clearly pissing in the wind right now.
Well, in the water.
Well, I'm not, but Turtek might be. But he's, I think, bleeding from his face.
What do you do when you bleed from your face? I pee.
Why don't you guys step back from the pond and let the whatever's in there come out?
I do that, and I put my hand up. I vote we go drink this hangover off. I got the trident. I'm happy.
I grab out my flute and try and play horribly to make them come out. Stop me.
You're just making us want to go into the water.
Yes. Do you need a performance check?
Sure, you can roll me a performance check.
For playing horribly?
Yeah, let's see how horribly you play.
Yeah, I just get back to Thaevan.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, because she was trying to fail, does that mean she succeeds?
No, in this particular instance, you are playing that horribly that you blow on the... I'm guessing the bamboo flute is what you're trying to play.
Yes.
Yep, okay, so you blow on it, but have no idea on how to actually hold it properly, and you manage to blow on it hard enough that it blows straight out of your hands into the water.
No!
That's what you get.
Oh, does any of the... I... How far into the water?
It's sinking rapidly.
Yeah, is it a meter away? Like, because I've got my mage hand out, like, in the water searching for shit. So could my mage hand quickly go to grab it?
I will let you have one dexterity check with disadvantage to see if you can manage to catch it before it goes in the water.
11.
18?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, so So your mage hand rips up and goes to grab it and sort of just nicks it, and it kind of like makes it flip and spiral, and then it lands in the water further away and sinks straight out of sight.
But closer.
Gramps turns to the group and says, "Okay, real talk. We're pretty tapped.
Was that a plus
We've-
one?
We've done what we sort of came to do. There is the option of exploring this fish pond further, but maybe we go and turn in for the night and replenish our stocks and turn seed to the relevant parties."
Well, there was still more to explore upstairs. We just decided to come down to a pool.
Well, I myself am keen to go and let them know that the shield, the looking metal thing, has been dealt with. So, what say the rest of you?
I say it just went pitch black, and I want to try drinking out of my new mouth hole.
Oh, went
So-
pit flash for you too? Okay, it wasn't just
Me too.
I want to look at the other area.
We have been moved. We fell in a hole.
No, that's kind of a
This is
very
we went down
rough
into heavy
sketch.
wooden doors when you were away.
Yeah,
That's kind of a rough sketch of the pool and the path and the other thing.
Can I just ask everyone, are we planning to come back here or not?
No, I'm gonna say no.
Nope.
Probably
not, but do not remove the gems from the wall, or we'll all be crushed on the way.
That was
That was
terrifying.
yeah, that was awful. Oh
I
Jesus!
got thrown in there.
Wait, what's the range of mage hand?
30 feet.
No.
I run out of the corridor.
All right, so you guys leaving the big open pool chamber?
I stare out in the water and watch everybody go out, and then I go up to the wall.
There's no wall here at the moment. You are on a small path that leads out into the middle of a giant pond.
Let's
Okay,
Let's leave Vonnir and run. Woohoo!
As we're walking back, I lag behind a lot, and I stare at a loose gem, and I prepare the mage hand to grab it, move away a little bit, and just sort of gently pull it out.
I run to the exit. Where's the exit?
I'm out. I'm at the wooden doors.
Alright,
Wooden
so-
doors
Yeah,
down.
I waited for everyone to run out,
I'm out.
and it's just this tiny, gentle, like, if it doesn't come out naturally, like, I go back, look at another one, and try another one, and just, like, try and just wiggle it a tiny bit, and if it doesn't feel like it's coming out, or feels like there's weight on it, then I'm not grabbing it out.
Okay, now
It's like playing
here's,
Jenga.
here's the thing with Mage Hand. It is a magical hand that you command. You have no sense of feeling with it. So you're not going to be able to sense if it's going to do a thing.
But
or
it
not.
can only
argue-
lift up to 10
no.
kilos, so
No,
it's
no,
not like you're going to be able to rip it out of a wall.
You
that's
can
like-
use it to pickpocket though.
Yeah.
That would be a roll to see how well you
No,
Yeah.
you can
deal with it, right?
You can only pickpocket, I'm pretty sure, with your arcane thief, right?
No, with mage hand you can.
Arcane trickster.
Yeah,
Well, she is an arcane trickster, but
Oh yeah, that's right.
that's not a problem. But I would still say that you can't feel like not in the sense that you're gonna have.
Before
fine
I walk
control.
away, I like sort of touch it a little bit and just just sort of test out to see if there's any weight on it,
With your hand?
and yeah, with my hand, and just sort of touch it very, very gently,
That's
like I'm
not
caressing something very gently.
And we never saw her again.
Judging by Eli's expression, we may not.
So, so as you touch the thing, it doesn't seem like there's all that much weight on it.
It doesn't seem like there's all that much weight on it.
No.
All that much, or like, does
All
it
that
feel
much.
really loose?
It doesn't feel like there's all that much weight on it.
Turtek is very nervous and wants to leave.
I'm already out.
Yeah, we're out on it.
I'm just trying to kill herself. Are we going to explore the rest of this place?
Yeah, let's go to the bar.
Let's do that.
Alright.
Well, because we can still go explore a little bit.
Yeah,
To
there's
our left.
the one other entrance. All right, so I'm just going to do this quickly. I move 30 meters away to the edge of the
30
thing,
feet, yeah.
and I very gently grab it out.
Okay, roll
And she
an
does.
Arcana check. This is
Oh,
to see.
no.
This is to see how well you can manipulate the hand to grab a hold of something that is not strictly loose. It is not too hard. Okay, yeah, so you do manage to grab a hold of it.
And as running for the door.
Okay, so as you grab a hold of the thing, you get a good purchase on it, and you manage to pull it free of the wall. It looks like a decent chunk. It's a purpley gem, so it looks like it could be quite useful. It's significantly larger than the other purple gems that you've got, so it could be worth quite a fair bit. What are you doing with it? Like, while it's 30 feet away from you?
Bring it over to me, and I grab it, and then I repeat the process with a green gem.
God damn it.
I am collecting us gems.
So, as you're bringing that gem towards you with Mage Hand, roll me a perception check.
No.
The gem explodes.
You got greedy. You got greedy.
So, you...
Sorry, just everyone just keeps cutting out for me, so don't mind if I'm not talking much.
That's okay. So you notice, as the gem gets roughly halfway to you, that there seems to have been a cascading sort of failure in the rock. What you've pulled out seems to have been very tentatively holding up other loose bits that were holding up other loose bits that were holding up other not so
Gotta
loose
hold
bits.
up your bits.
And now the tunnel is starting to collapse, and
Fucking leg it.
it is rapidly approaching on you. This is going to be a skill check thing to see if you can manage to get out of the tunnel before it collapses on you. So, roll me a first up. Roll me a acrobatics check.
No.
Whoops.
Okay, so
that one.
you turn around and like you go to run and you trip and stumble as the. Okay, this is how I'm gonna do this. Right.
Fuck.
So basically,
Anything but a crit one.
all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to
Crit happens.
Yes, crit does happen, especially a crit one. So what I'll do is I'll delete all of this really quickly, and we will make a.
Pile of rubble.
Alright. This line is the point where everything is collapsing. Okay? Now, you are roughly there. But at the moment, you are prone because you tripped over. I will get to that in a minute, Vonnir. And with that, the rubble is all falling closer. It is now fallen to here. It's now like hot on your heels. So roll me another athletics or acrobatics check.
Oh, bullshit.
way.
Absolute bullshit.
Oh,
That's another
That is
crit one.
fucking
yeah,
bullshit.
that's okay. So
Bull.
you get up and then go to start running, but you're panicking and you trip. You get to there. The collapse, however, is now starting to come down over your legs. Roll me another athletics check.
While this is happening, can I
Ba-
drop everything?
Can we
Running.
hear anything?
Oh yeah, you're definitely hearing a rumbling and crumbling, and I'd even go as far as to say that you're starting to see like bits of dust
floor?
and rubble falling from the roof. Now, in this particular instance, because you guys had left and left Ash to deal with it, you're out of range.
Can I actually do a spell to do something? Yeah?
Well, what do you want to try and do?
Nothing, right?
You're not exactly sure what's going on. Like, you're probably just
Can I
noticing
say
that.
I would be going fuck as I was running and all this was happening?
Yeah.
Sorry?
You ran back without us, so.
What did you say, Mark?
It's 500 feet away.
It's not
500
that
feet.
far.
Didn't you say it was like 500 feet long, the tunnel?
Oh, yeah, but, like, I'm assuming that she didn't start it, like, at the very end.
I started at the furthest point away.
Okay, so
The closest.
does her tank actually notice this and start to go in?
No, so what I'd say is, at this particular point, you've noticed that everything's starting to crumble. Everything's starting to come down. You're probably not 100% sure exactly what's going on. And you know what? Let's go with... So, yeah, so with that, I'd say you guys roll me a perception check. Everyone roll me a perception check. Ash doesn't need to.
But what if I don't know that I'm about to die?
You know.
Hold on. Lost my sheet.
Oh, wow, I got a 9.
12.
This dwarf has a echo vision like a bat. Caves.
Okay.
After these, could we also have a break?
Yep. Okay, so... Who are we missing? Turtang. No, got Turtang. That's everyone. Okay. So, yeah, so everyone except for Von Draxilla work out that the tunnel is collapsing back the way you came. So, Ash, with your nat 20... No, it wasn't a nat. It was with your nat 16, but +4 to acrobatics. You get to here.
Yay!
And you manage to pull yourself up and away from the crumbling rock. As the tunnel continues to collapse, it gets to about here. Now, everyone else, what are you guys doing?
If Turtank is starting to strip down and run back in, I reach out gingerly and touch him on the behind and give him guidance for strength.
Okay, so at the moment, you guys are roughly about 80 feet away from where Ash is. So, yeah.
I'm gonna
Alright, so
take
I
a
moved
moment
30 feet.
to point out my flaw on my character sheet and do nothing.
Wait, my speed is 40. I moved 40.
I haven't noticed anything, so I'm just looking at all the gems on the wall.
Was that 40? I've forgotten how to check.
Is it just that cave that's collapsing, or is the whole place gonna go?
You don't know. It seems to be
Wait.
starting from back where that tunnel is.
Wait, can I just ask, is there gems in this room as well?
Roll me a perception check with disadvantage. Because this room is not where you are. This is just, I'm just using this as the table for what's going on.
Yeah, I know, but Von Draxilla just said that there was gems in the room where she is. But I would have, like, if I had noticed that coming in.
No. So you guys are still running through the tunnels up towards the doors. Like, they've gotten to the doors. So there's no gems where they are. Where you are, there are gems.
Where I am, there's
There's gems, but where they are, there is not. They're back up in this area.
Okay, what I would argue...
Stop for a second, Ash. At the moment, everyone else is in this area, is in the area, like the map that you're in. You are currently in the map down through the tunnel doors, down here.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if there was, like, gems right up to the tunnel doors, then I would have gone...
There's
oh,
not.
okay.
There's sections that are interspersed around, and you've picked at the point where you currently, like, where the last lot of gems that you saw.
I think the confusion was that Von D said...
That was...
Yeah, I just misspoke.
Yeah. That's all good. So,
I really can't
I'm gonna pee.
But roll.
Sorry, I thought Eli said afterwards that there was
No,
gems further up.
No,
My
no,
bad.
no, no, no. Roll me a perception check, though. Okay, you notice that there are gems in the rocks that are all coming down. There's gems all through this tunnel. It's just there wasn't any exposed to the rock in the tunnel. Okay, so what's everyone else doing?
I'm running towards.
Don't move your token. Leave this entirely for me because this isn't exactly as it looks. So if you're moving towards Ash, are you dashing or what are you doing?
Spell it right now. Sorry.
I'm dashing full speed.
You might get stuck.
Wait, I can't take an action then, can I?
No.
No, I'm moving at a speed where as soon as I reach her, I can just throw her bodily to safety.
Okay, so you currently are about 80 feet away from her. The tunnel's collapsing in and closing in behind her.
Yeah,
At this
I
point,
can move 40
suggest
feet.
we all run out of here. We don't know if the place is going to collapse or not, so...
I ignore Vonnir and I run towards Ash.
Okay, so you're running towards Ash.
Yeah.
Guidance.
Are you full moving, like taking the dash
Well,
action?
No, because when I get to her, I want to throw her to safety.
But you won't get to her. You may not get to her before the tunnel collapses on her.
Well, there's no point.
It's up to
Yeah,
you
it's
what
like,
you want to
"Here
do.
I am." Yeah, nah.
So
Okay.
are you certain that you're already running away from us?
No, I'm running towards her, and if she can make it to me, then I can throw her.
I was
Okay.
gonna. No, maybe it's a bit.
No,
too...
but then you're gonna die. And I see you and I go, no, don't die. I like your tattoos.
I
Okay,
could.
so- Let's just roll along with this. So you're moving towards her. I'll just move her to move you to there. That tells me that you've moved 40 feet towards her. Okay, roll me another acrobatics check.
I don't wanna.
Well, you can decide not to, in which case the wall will collapse on top of you. But
Am I rolling acrobatics?
no, you don't need to.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, so you get to about here. You think you're making good time, but then the roof starts collapsing in a lot faster all of a sudden, and now it's starting
It
to
has the
come back down
loafers
on
of
top
long
of you.
jump. Cuckoo.
I do. Oh,
So, okay. Now, Turtang, what are you doing? She's actually at this point, because I'd say you're moving flat out. You're probably close enough at this point.
Can I just ask before that, like, had I moved 30 meters in a straight line?
30 feet, yes.
30 feet, sorry. So I guess it's too late to take that long jump, yeah?
Turn's already stepped over.
Alright, if I'm close enough, then I just full pelt throw her past me to the rest of the group. Then she
Roll-
can land how she likes, but she's out of the collapsing tunnel.
Roll a strength check
No.
or athletics check.
How do I boost that with Gramps touch on the butt?
It's only strength.
Sorry?
It's only for strength. Oh yeah, you get a +4 to strength.
Yeah, so you just roll an extra d4 after it. So just roll the athletics and then roll a d4. Okay, so you grab a hold of her and go to throw her, but you pretty much get caught up in it and don't really throw her all that far. You basically move her like an extra 10 feet. It's more of a push than anything else.
Alright.
Bad for Frank because of the push.
Roll an acrobatics check, Ash. Let's see if you fall prone or not.
Jason, shh.
No, I was gonna come out with that anyway. Okay, yeah. So you manage to like stumble, but like you keep yourself upright.
Gramps is moving towards them, but not at any rate of effect.
Yep. Roll me another. Roll me another acrobatics. You too, Turtang.
I think you're taking the finger off the button too quickly, buddy.
Roll an acrobatics.
Yeah, I'm doing it, but yeah, we always miss the last word from you.
Yeah, I'm getting that. I think that's Discord though.
Yeah. Okay.
Just have to hold it longer.
So, you guys actually, this is technically how you be, and so yeah, with that, move to there. You'd move to pretty much the same spot. Unfortunately, the wall's on top of you.
Excellent.
And at this particular point, yeah. So basically, Turtank had thrown you forward, so Turtank was behind, but Turtank managed to move further on his acrobatics. Managed to get that little bit of extra speed on it. So he's in line with you. But yeah, the wall's coming down.
Can I, obviously by this point, my perception, I can actually see what's going on. Can I actually do like gust of wind? Would that be helpful?
No.
No?
It might.
That'll be the
but
opposite effect, I'm pretty sure.
It
right?
might not. You don't know. You would have to give it a go. So you both take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as the tunnel is collapsing in on you.
Did you say 4?
12.
12. Perfect.
Gramps looks at Von Dracula worryingly, and who else is near me?
I'm guessing you're all fairly close by.
Go on.
Oh, okay, yep. Vonnir's legged it.
Right. Well, I'm guessing Von Dracula is near me. Is Thaevan actually near me? Is that where a token is?
Are you actually nearby? Nah, you're gone with Vonnir. No worries.
Yeah.
You can see that they are really close to the mouth of the tunnel.
Well,
So
I did say a turn before that I started to run off though. So
Are we in like a safe zone? Me and Gramps are in a safe zone, or are we still
you
like in
think
the tunnel?
so? You're not
Well,
in.
Gramps
You're
grabbed-
past the doors, so they're coming up towards the doors at the moment.
Gramps grabs Von Dracula's claw, I don't know, and
And?
starts yanking her forward towards them.
Okay.
Okay.
Why?
Because someone wanted a gem, that's why.
It's huge.
Okay.
Which I'd like to point out that the gem didn't actually make it to you. It's currently buried in amongst everything else. Yeah. So both of you roll another acrobatics check.
Do.
Why?
Von Dracula
Why did
doesn't.
you drag
you
me?
don't. You don't need to. You guys aren't up to that yet. It's just Ash and Turtank.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright.
Okay, cool.
It's alright, you're not dead yet.
Woohoo!
Okay. Yeah. So with that,
Turtank.
you guys are rushing along, and then the collapse gets to a point, and it just sort of stops. It seems like it's found the tunnel's found a little bit of solid purchase, and everything just collapses in around, and there's dust and dirt and rock being thrown out of the tunnel, and you both come like exploding out of the tunnel in a plume of that dust. Alive, beaten, and possibly learnt a lesson. Maybe not.
Possibly.
I turn around, have a look at the damage, and look for gems.
Gem hunting, because now it's all loose from the rocks. I'm getting gems.
Yay!
Roll a perception check.
Walks,
Got a feeling we need some serious mining gear to turn
You
that
Damn.
can't
into
see
gems.
any gems. There is. It's just rock and gravel. That's all there.
I spit blood and dirt on the floor out of both holes, my mouth hole and my cheek hole.
You have three
And
You
I
holes.
say,
you
I'm
have two
getting
cheek holes.
both my cheek holes, and I declare to anyone that's listening, I'm getting a drink.
Gramps
No.
looks at Ash and says, "I'm not sure you deserve to be saved." Looks at Turtank, like pats him on the chest, and walks out. And on the way past the other two, says, "So much for this fucking team," and shoulder barges them both. And
Whoa.
walks.
Step.
So the question
I
is.
limp after Gramps.
So the question is, did Thaevan and Vonnir stop at some point, or did you guys just keep continuing? So this is going to determine whether or not Gramps catches up to you two.
Okay, was I under the impression that the thing was going to stop collapsing at the door, or would I have thought that it was going to keep going?
Well, hindsight's great, but
You have no idea. It was all collapsing in.
In that case, I was probably continuing to leg it for fear of the collapsingness following me.
Okay, so what about you, Vonnir? Would you have continued on, or would you have stopped at some point?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll continue on. I'm
All
not
right.
getting
so their tokens weren't actually there.
No, I just moved them there so that they were out of the way. As I said, like, this isn't exactly how it was laid out.
Okay, so they just bailed on the team. Good to know. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, so you guys, Gramps, are you waiting for Totank, Ash, and Von Draxilla, or what are you doing?
Yeah.
I recover my gear and Terra and limp after Gramps, saying we're gonna have some milk, we're gonna have some beer, and we're gonna have some sleepy sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
way
full
we
for
came
a
out.
long rest. I could do that.
Which this tunnel up here is not the way we came out, right? It was.
No. Again, this wasn't how it was laid out. This is just as it is. So, in actual effect, when you guys got out, you guys would have been down here, right? So that's where you guys come out. I'm guessing the other two continued up towards the entrance, which is all the way up the top left.
Well, I reckon we go to the bar and the rounds are on Ash.
All right. So you guys are leaving the this particular area. Not a problem.
Personally, I would like to go to like the left because we haven't actually explored there yet.
Okay, so if you wanted to explore that, you would find that it's collapsed in
I mean,
at the
it'll
end.
just be the four of you. I mean, me and Thaevan have gone out of the tunnels at this point.
Yeah. So looking in there, you find like there is a couple of busted up crates. That look like they've been ransacked, and the end of it hasn't finished being mined. It's just a dead end.
Oh, to the pub.
Okay, so you guys are
And
leaving.
was that a dead end just recently because of the
No,
tunnel
it just hasn't been mined. It just hasn't been mined. It looks like they were mining that area, but then they stopped. Yeah. Okay.
Are we back at the pub?
No, because you haven't actually left the place. You're leaving the place, but you haven't left it yet. So I need to sort this out. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll get back into it then.
Yeah, I didn't want to jump straight to the tub. To the pub. We have people to talk to on the way out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that works.
Don't mind me just bleeding out of my face holes. Do I write extra trident in?
Yeah, you can put a trident in. Yeah.
An extra face holes.
2 extra face holes.
Which, by the way, at this particular point, you've got a lot of two-handed weapons on you, and I'm going to say that you're not going to be able to carry any more. Because you've got... Let's have a look.
I'm going to sell some.
It's just more how the hell are you carrying them?
Yeah, that's my point. It's
Like,
you've
to
got,
me, the limit of two-handed weapons would be 2. That's all you should ever be
yeah,
able to
you've got currently you've got a great axe, your vicious great axe, a +1 trident, and now another trident. Like, you're already kind of juggling a lot. I'm actually going to say that you can't carry all of that.
Does anybody want a spare trident? I know it works quite well.
I will. I want a spare trident.
I give on blah blah blah.
Von Draxilla, yes.
I'm just speaking with my cheek holes. I give the dragon the trident.
You can see it still has the flesh of Turtank on it, and I grin greedily,
Oh,
happy with this new flesh I can eat.
Okay. So yeah, we'll have a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll get back into it.
So, are we resuming just outside the exit of the cave?
Yeah. So you guys have just come, just where you entered into the mid-level mines. So you're just coming back up into the tunnel. You're currently in like the upper mines. That's where you'll be.
Pretty sure. Actually, I guess Vonnir, I would wait for them and see if they come out a little bit.
Okay, well, where is Vonnir and Thaevan in relation to us if we're just in this little...
Okay, so is Ash back? Is Sandy back?
Yep.
Okay, so Vonnir and Thaevan, would you have waited at the doorway?
Still ping.
Vonnir and Thaevan, would you have waited at the doorway? Or...
No, I like, for all we know, the collapse is going to take the whole mine out.
Yeah,
Right.
so I'm saying we were waiting outside the mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Left it right out.
okay, so I will get to you guys. We'll do you guys first, right? So, give me the. Yeah, so you two get up here and find Nezrietta standing there. And she looks at you two and she looks pretty upset. She's very pale and her gesticulations, her motions with her hands are very erratic, much more than they were outside. She looks up at you two and kind of brightens ever so slightly and says, "Oh, you both are alive. That's good. Where is everyone else?"
Well, one of our companions got too damn greedy for doing damn good. Tried to take one of the gems and trigger the collapse.
She lifts her large mechanical hand and runs it through her hair, and it snags in a couple of places and sort of like pulls out a couple of chunks of hair. But...
That part is like, don't worry, I do the exact same thing every day. I'm surprised I still have hair.
And she doesn't seem to have even noticed that it's gotten snagged. She seems very distressed. But she goes, "Well, I wouldn't go any further out. Not just yet."
But we did take care of the iron, shield guardian for you.
Oh, it was a shield guardian?
And there was a rust monster infestation. They got a bit of my shield, see?
Oh, well that explains all the missing tools. Thank you.
Yeah, but there was a body and a crate. Bit weird to have a body down there.
That is strange. I'm sorry. I'm very distracted. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, just around the corner there's a bunch of captains working on Stumpy.
Sorry, there's a what?
A bunch of captains working on Stumpy. And at this point, like, she looks ready to burst into tears.
Sorry, you cut out for like about 5 seconds for me.
There is a bunch of captains working on Stumpy, and she looks like she's about to burst into tears.
Yeah, sorry.
That's right. So, and she says, well, someone leaked information that someone headed down into the High Coast tunnels yesterday afternoon without authorization. Now they're making Stumpy suffer for it.
Quick reminder, who's Stumpy?
The foreman.
Of the
mine.
Of the mine, okay.
Yeah, Nezrietta is the leading hand.
Okay. I can't remember.
That's alright.
Are we out yet?
Yeah, so at this particular point, I'd say that you guys would just be coming up on the doorway.
Wait. I wanted to have a quick interaction before we...
Yeah, I'll just want to say, I thought you were upset because of the, you had the mine collapsing or something, but...
I felt a rumble, but No, it's my fault that Stumpy's being worked on.
What did these captains look like, by the way?
They're the captains. They look like the captains. They're the guys that come from the docks. That chased you guys out of the docks.
Crack my knuckles.
she says, she goes on and says, look, you know, it's my fault that Stumpy's being worked on. I was the one that let someone go down the tunnels. You better not go and try and deal with them. Not right now. Just leave it be.
But you think I'd make it worse?
Well, you guys caused quite a bit of a stir, and if you get involved here, you're probably going to find yourself being harassed even more by the captains. I'd be surprised if you make it away with any of your equipment.
Them bastards still have my money.
Let's deal with that later, Vonnir. Now's not the time.
Okay, so we'll jump back to the other group. What are you guys doing?
Drink.
No, you're still coming up the tunnels. You can't get to the drink yet.
So we come into this first area, and Gramps notices the other two have legged it. Gramps turns to both Von Druxilla and Turtank and grabs them both on the shoulder and says, "Thank you so much for hanging around and giving a shit and proving to me that there is some good left in this world." And looks at Ash with utter disdain, walks up to her.
And she looks down, really like guiltily.
Gives her the whole like parent disapproval thing, and says, "You greedy fool! I told you what would happen. You just put to risk the lives of all of us in this group. Do you not care? Are you that obsessed with your own selfishness that you just condemn the rest of us?" The other two have proven to me what cowardice and lack of loyalty they have. They are dead to me. But you could have been the cause of the death of people who were actually good in this world. Think about that before the next shiny thing grabs your attention. You fucking fool.
And at that, I look up and I say, I wasn't meant to get anyone else hurt. I thought I only put myself in danger because everybody else was out. I wasn't expecting anyone else to come in, and
clearly some of us give a shit about you.
I did it because I do care. We all lost our money and our gems, and I wanted to get some more so that
You did
we
it
can
because you
share
were
it.
greedy.
No, I did it because I wanted to share it with everyone.
Do you really think that a few gems are worth the life of yourself?
Well, I mean, I'm quite stealthy and I'm nimble, and I thought I could do it. I didn't think this would happen.
I told you this exact thing would happen.
I thought you were overreacting.
Well, you're a fucking fool.
Then
Gramps
walks away.
And I look down at the ground and say nothing.
Okay.
I lean over to Von Druxilla. Tell him he needs a nap, but don't say I said.
I look into my stash. I have literally nothing of use left, so I go, we should just go back, chill out, have some drinks, get drunk. Gramps can yell some more. I don't care. I just want to drink and have a long...
I'm happy to have a drink with you three, you two. Not so much Ash.
And
But the other two.
What do you think about
that?
They just completely bailed on us.
We're gonna have another good brawl soon.
Look, I haven't been
Just
in
a
this
second.
group as long as... Oh, sorry.
Can I get Mark and Sandy to separate their microphones a little bit? Getting bleed over quite bad, and it...
Sorry.
That's all right.
It makes Gramps sound really haunting.
Yeah.
We should be both on push to talk.
Yeah, I'm on push to talk. It's just that I go to say something, but then I don't say it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to whisper, like, I'm sorry after he, like, said to me and, like, sort of start walking a little bit slowly.
So, go on.
No, I'm just going to reiterate what I said. What do you think about the other two?
I think they
completely
did. I think they did what they thought was the right thing at the time. Let's go drink and deal with it later. Everybody reacted. Let's go drink.
Pirate code says they do right by them, they're right with me.
Graham just harumphs and falls in the back of line.
Okay, so with that, I guess you guys are heading up, and at that point, I guess you guys are coming out of this tunnel, and you'd probably see up ahead, Thaevan. Actually, I'm not sure if dynamic lighting's working in here at the moment. Can you guys see?
Can see light, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys can see what you're supposed to see.
Matic, but anything you've revealed has been revealed.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So, okay, the rest of the you four come up and find Thaevan and Vonnir talking with Nezrietta.
Okay, hang on a second. I've just gone over onto the stream, and I don't think we are seeing what we're meant to be seeing because I'm still in the mine.
Oh, what? I thought you came up with me.
Nope.
On my screen, both Thaevan and Vonnir are still in the mine.
Should I reload my page?
I'm looking at the inside of the mine that we were looking at. Is that what you're talking about, Eli, or?
Hold on. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, I didn't move it. That's my bad. There we go. That should work.
Yeah, reloaded.
Ah, I thought maybe like there was something wrong with the strings. I'm like,
No. That was my fault. I didn't move you guys.
All good.
cool.
Okay, so do you guys is dynamic lighting working in here at the moment?
No.
Dynamic lighting in the sense that everything we can see
is available, but there are no shadows cast by it.
Yeah, we can see like all that.
Yeah,
that's what we're after.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, I can see like around corners and stuff. So
That's
it's not
fine.
dynamic lighting.
I'll have to look into that later. I don't know why that's not working.
You can't have both. That's why you have to turn the other one off.
Is that working? Is that better?
There's like advanced dynamic lighting, and then there's normal dynamic lighting.
Okay. I think
think that's what it is.
Glad I didn't reveal the whole map. I can't find it here.
Sure you still subscribe?
Yeah. Yep. Should be.
Quickly look.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. We'll deal with that later. It's not a big deal. Okay, so you come out and you see Thaevan and Vonnir talking with a rather agitated and upset looking Nezrietta up ahead. Are you guys closing in, or what are you guys doing?
Gramps is hanging at the back, but I'm assuming we're moving as a group towards Nezrietta because she's the one that sent us down there.
I'm making myself small and like just sort of in the wall, very much against it, and like looking as small as possible.
I just walk straight up to Nezrietta with the other two and be like, nice to see you guys got out alive as well, and see what's going on.
Okay. So I guess at this particular point where you're coming in is just as Nezrietta's saying, telling Vonnir and Thaevan that she is responsible for the captain's currently working over Stumpy.
What do you mean working over Stumpy?
She looks at you like tears welling in her eyes. They're pushing him around, and they're probably gonna hurt him.
Well, I can guarantee you, my dear, none of us went anywhere near the area you said not to. We didn't go near the high coast tunnels. We went down and cleared out the problem you guys were having. Who else did you let in here?
Well, he was a man, but I haven't really seen him around, but he had the right names to say.
Oh. Well, I don't know about you other guys, but I don't know there's much we can do.
We could kill them.
We're pretty big. I mean, Turtank's bleeding profusely from his face.
I have
And
five.
he's kind of like the tank.
We can take them? Are you serious? They beat the shit out of us without even trying. And to top that, I don't trust the two of you as far as I can throw you. I'm not going into battle with you.
What if spits on the ground? I'm not dying for some other's stupid greed.
Clearly people make mistakes. Doesn't mean you abandon your allies, you fucking turd.
I'm not fighting against the fucking elements, you damn fool!
Yes, you want to go into battle with captains? Are you serious? Listen to yourself, you damn dwarf.
Nezriel is looking around a little bit panicked, and kind of
That's
motions
for a
her
bit
hands
frazzled.
down. And she says, "Please, you'll draw their attention."
Fine. There's nothing we can do for him right now. We'll be back to talk to him in the morning. I'm going for a beer with Juxilla and Turtank.
Said like a true coward you are.
Says the guy who walked away from his fucking friends, you fucking tool.
I spit on Vonnir's boots for the coward comment and walk off for a drink.
And I'm following Turtank.
And as you guys are moving off, Nezriel sort of yells out and goes, "Wait!" And then sort of puts a hand over her mouth, realizing that she's yelled out quite loudly. I just need to make a quick roll.
Also, can I just say I just crushed some grapes into my whiskey, and this is possibly the best decision I made all night.
Really?
Oh, it's actually really nice.
Whiskey grapes.
Yeah,
Sounds
quite good.
tempting.
Yeah, so she puts a hand over her mouth and she says, they're in the upper mines. They're just around the corner. You can't leave. You have to wait."
Oh, my bad. I thought we were out into the main...
This is the upper mines. You've walked up the top here is where you went down into the mid-level mines. So this is the
Okay,
upper
I
mine.
thought we were at the front where we had first...
No, this is the upper
Okay.
mine. You haven't actually left the mines yet.
Alright,
Right.
I check my health potion at Turtank, and I go, "You ready for another round?"
I spit a little more blood. I lick my cheek holes and I say, "Yep, let's do it."
Gramps mentions
And I chug
to
the
the other
potion.
two and says, "We can't take them. They completely shamed us when we were at almost full capacity. We have no chance against captains just now."
What if something else already kicked their butt? And we just
I agree with Gramps on this one.
I pipe up in a very small voice. I'm really not fit to battle right now, guys.
Gramps talks to Nezriel and says, "We'll do everything we can for him, but what do you expect is the outcome of this? Will he be punished, or is this just a stern talking to?"
Well, I don't know, but I know they're pushing him around, and I know they've beaten him. I don't know if they'll go worse than that. I really don't.
Gramps addresses the rest of the group and says, What if we approach the group calmly and say that we were sent down to help clear a problem they were having, and we can only assume that he had had acquired further assistance, and this guy had gone rogue. It's not necessarily his fault that someone else had broached the tunnels when he quite clearly told us to not, and we didn't.
As you're saying this,
I don't think
I
that's
would
really gonna
like to
stand the them.
suggest that we wait until they go and regroup after that, because I have a feeling that they're just going to be angry no matter what we say to them.
Okay, that was one response. What was the rest of it?
as you're saying this, roll me a perception check. I'll get everyone
All
to
of
roll.
us?
Yeah.
Can I stealth?
Roll me a perception check first.
Okay.
I am not doing good rolls today. I got 8.
I smell myself small and looking down at the ground, looking at my feet.
Gramps rolled a 22.
13.
I rolled a 23.
3.
17.
And Von Droxilla rolled an 8. Okay, so with those rolls, Vonnir, Thaevan, and Gramps, you all hear someone yell out, oh, Santa grunt work again. And you can hear boots clacking loudly on the stone as someone comes around the corner. He's like looking down and sort of like trudging along.
I attempt to hide.
Where do you intend on hiding?
I don't know. Hang on.
Sorry, man. I missed the first line of what you said. The rest I...
So, you three heard someone walking, like clacking hard boots on the stone, and him say, "Sent on grunt duty again."
Oh, okay, yep.
And also, Thaevan is a wood elf, so she can actually hide herself pretty well.
Yeah, I'm just
like
checking if that's dependent on whether on my like.
It's much more of an instance of it's an open tunnel.
I know.
There's nothing
behind
really. Hide behind someone. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Grant.
Can I just ask how much does the health potion do for Turtang?
It's a 2d4
Yeah.
plus 2, I believe, for normal potion.
So
I
yeah.
didn't think he took it because Gramps' healing thing was so powerful.
You got injured again.
Oh,
yeah.
did he?
Yeah.
That's 2d4, that's 6, plus 2.
Yeah. So 8.
Gramps makes no move to hide and turns to the group and says, "We've done nothing wrong. We're here on commission. We've done our job." And he's waiting for whoever the hell is coming.
All right.
I apparently have no perception of what's going on, so I'm just staring at my new trident.
At this, I notice that there's someone coming, and I like hide my pretty shiny weapons.
Okay. Well, he gets to about here when he looks up and he goes, "Oh, hey, what? Wait, who are you?"
Gramps sheathes his weapons, I suppose, and puts his shield behind him, puts his hands up. Says, "Greetings. Is this someone we recognize?"
No, he just looks like a general ruffian-looking dude. Like he's dressed kind of like a dockhand.
Gramps pipes up and says, "We mean no quarrel with you, sir. We were sent out there on commission. We've just completed a job. Who
Yeah.
are you, and what do you want?"
Well, I'm with the captains. Wait, no one's supposed to be in here.
"We were sent down to the lower levels. We've just returned. We had no knowledge of, fuck, what's the word? Not, out of bounds.
Ash pipes up and says, "We just took care of that beast that was stopping the mining from happening. We were barred from any other area, and after hearing what's going on, there's no way we'd make that mistake.
Okay, just
And
a
then
second.
I'd sort of turn to what's her name, the lady, and say, did you need proof of that
So,
kill? I do believe Turtank has a body part. If you
No,
want,
I couldn't get it.
yeah, couldn't get anything.
that's all right. I'm still
I
saying it.
So,
Rustled a bit though.
So, while that's being said, the dockhand sort of smirks a bit, and he goes, "Well, I don't know anything about going down in the lower part of the mine, but ain't no one supposed to know anything about no hidden areas. Seems like we got some trouble here." And with
There
that,
was no hidden areas. It was the barred areas that we weren't allowed to go in that had signs.
that's what he's referring to. And with that, he starts bringing his hands to his lips like he's about to whistle.
Hold on. Can I just ask though, how can it be a hidden area if there's massive signs and guards to the area? It's not hidden. You just.
I misspoke. I meant like the going down. He's pointing out the fact that you turned around and said, we didn't know anything about that. Like you coming out with information that alludes to you actually knowing something about that.
As you guys did, can I just bring out my grab pouch? Wait a moment, friend. I think you're getting on the wrong foot here. Got my pouch, like tossing up and down.
He's slows his hand a little bit and looks at you. He goes,
There's no need to alert anyone, no?
"Well, I am under orders, but
Well, but we know how things work around here.
yeah, I bet you do. After us chasing you out last time, yesterday, huh?"
Oh, so you're part of the people that chased me out, huh?
There was a lot of us there.
Shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of people, yes. So how many would you say to grease the wheels this time around?
Well, I reckon a round for me and the boys. Call it. We'll call it.
Round for you and the boys. They've actually just won a drinking contest recently, actually.
Ah, did you now? That means free drinks on you, right?
Yeah, so why don't you come around and we'll have a good drink. Maybe even have another competition, no?
Well, I have to wait until I'm off duty.
Well, I'm a pretty good drinker.
Well, I don't doubt that. You look like you could take a few.
Yeah,
But,
looks like you could use a few drinks yourself.
Yeah, well, us and the rest of the captains, we usually stick to the docks, so I might see if I can sneak out. But if you want anything from me, it's gonna cost you.
Well, I like a man that knows already what he wants.
Tell you what, you give me 4 blue gems and 2 greens, and I'll turn around and say I didn't hear nothing.
Well, you're a very good friend. It's only cost us that much, but make sure you drop by the tavern so we can have that drink, no?
I'll see what I can do.
4 blue gems and 2 greens.
Okay.
I see you down at the tavern.
Alright then. And so he takes them and pockets them and like pats his pocket like quite happily and kind of like nods and it sort of like gives sort of like a 2-fingered salute to Nezrietta and says as he's turning around and walking away, "Well, Nezzy, looks like your boss is gonna need a little bit of a patch up after we're done." And he heads back around the corner.
The rest of you really need to learn how to talk to these people.
I'm completely ignoring him.
Thanks.
Ash looks down at her feet and goes back quiet. Says a little thank you.
I attempted to knock the dumbass out after I got my pulse out. It was the original plan. But it
And
looked like it could be useful afterwards.
while the dwarf is carrying on, Gramps goes to console Nesrietta after just hearing that her boss is being worked over. He says to her, "Don't worry, my dear. We will try and get to the bottom of this."
Just bring him to me later. I can still heal today.
Okay, so I'll get you all to roll another perception check, please.
God damn it. If he brings people around, I'm fucking killing them all.
Come on!
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh my god!
Oh.
So that's an 8 from Gramps,
I have too
a
many
1
face
from Thaevan, a 9
How
from
many face holes?
Vondroxilla,
3 face holes. What'd you
a
get?
9 from Ash, a 13 from Vonnir, and a 3 from Turtank. Luckily,
One from Turtank.
Nat 1.
luckily the DC wasn't incredibly high, so at least Vonnir heard this. You hear a dwarf say, "Not me leg, I'm telling you true, I don't know a thing, and Nesrietta wouldn't let anyone die!"
Uh-oh.
And the scream just sort of rips through the tunnel, and it continues for a few moments before silence, and yeah, you don't know what's happening.
I inch away slowly back to the mouth of the mine, so that if
Well,
I need to make a
that's
getaway
great.
into the mine, I can.
Well, that's great, but the thing is, I'm not really sharing it, so you don't know that.
Yeah, so
Alright.
everyone else would have heard the scream. Definitely would have heard the scream.
Okay, well at the scream I do.
And as the scream comes through, Nesrietta sort of like just immediately bursts into tears and is sobbing into her hands, and she's kind of like, her mechanical hand is sort of pressed hard into her face. It looks quite uncomfortable, but she doesn't seem to notice it. She's just like crying into her hands.
Okay, I walk up to Nesrietta and I go, "Look, it's not that we don't want to help, we just don't know how we can help. What is it that we can do? Like, honest."
She's like, through sobs, she's like, you can't do anything. I tried telling you guys not to get involved. I just get everyone hurt.
You cut out, but okay.
She just says that, you know, she didn't want you guys to do anything, and that she just gets everyone hurt.
And, with the rest of you head back, and is there a place I could sit where the captains won't see me? So after they're done, I can do some medical treatment on the Stumpy?
Possibly?
No, I'm asking,
She just sort of back away from the tunnels, like try and find some place to be small.
yeah, alright. You guys look, you'll need to be strong for your friend here. Crying and feeling sorry for him and yourself is not going to help anyone. You need to think of what you can do after what happens. Okay?
Yeah, she just nods. And as this happens, you see a group of 6 heading down. Actually, roll me a perception check. Anyone that is looking down that way.
I'm currently facing the other way.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd be looking down that way or not.
Just one of us?
Nah,
Okay,
anyone that is
passive
looking down that way.
perception. My passive perception is 14.
Well, if you're facing in roughly that direction, you could use it. Otherwise, I'd say you wouldn't see it.
I had moved to
I got
Nesrietta
11.
to console her, but I don't know whether my character... Oh, the screams. Yeah, if the screams happened, Gramps would have been glancing down that way.
Okay. So, yeah, I'd say then Gramps, Thaevan, Ash, you guys notice that at the head of the group is a tall, very...
Gramps roll?
Yeah, his passive perception.
Oh.
Actually, what's Vonnir's passive perception?
14.
Yeah, no. What... And Gramps, what's your passive perception?
Mine's 14.
Okay, no, actually, you wouldn't notice it. So Thaevan and Ash, you two would notice that at the head of the group is an elf dressed in very dark armor and has like a dark leather trench coat, like slung straight over, like worn around, covering most things. It's covered in like bandoliers and has like a whole bunch of vials stuffed in the bandoliers. And she also carries a huge scythe, like a war scythe, and it's currently dripping with blood. As the group, not the light, but as the group of them walk down and seem like they're heading out towards the entrance to the cave.
Do I recognize her from the dream at all?
No.
Do people tell me that they see him or what?
I
Who
kind
are
of,
they?
I kind of
I
hush
say-
everyone.
And I say, oh, I think they're moving out off now. I can see.
I'm gonna go see what they can do for Stumpy.
I think that's a good idea.
Alright, so you guys... Nezrieta would sort of nod and sort of like head with you.
Okay, so are we gonna follow them, or are we gonna go talk to Stumpy?
Go see how Stumpy's doing.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta see his leg chopped off.
So, yeah, you guys... When you get around there, Nezrieta runs straight over to him and he's passed out. And looking at him, straight away you all notice that he has lost a leg. And if you remember, he had already lost the foot off one of his legs. Thankfully, the leg that is missing is the same one that was missing the foot. But it's been taken off at the knee. And yeah, he's completely unconscious.
I suppose I could reattach to have a feeling spells or anything.
I don't think so, not with the level of healing spells you'd have at this
I mean,
point.
like, maybe not if it's in working condition, or the fact that it's still, you know, connected or something. Maybe it would take time to heal.
You roll me a medicine check.
Something I'm good at. Never mind.
Nat one. You're...
It's still 7 with a 1, so...
Yeah.
I call curse on the DM shirt.
There's been a lot of nat ones this session. So yeah, you're looking at it and you're trying to work out how you could possibly get this to work, but the leg, the lower part of his leg that was already missing the foot, where it's landed, it's now got like gravel and bits of dirt and everything else stuck in the wound, and it looks like they probably were a little bit mean and sort of like messed it up a bit more than was strictly necessary. It wasn't just like they lopped it off and then walked off. It was kind of like they're making a point. And if you look at his leg, it's, you know, it's a pretty clean cut, but yeah, where he's hit the deck, it's, you know, rubbed in dirt and anything else. You don't think you could reattach it even with magic, not the magic that you know at the moment.
Best I can do is at least heal him up. And yeah, level of cure wounds. Press submit. There we go. That took a while. So heals for 11.
Ash, I will say that on something like a medicine check, you can't assist unless you know medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so as you heal, the stump sort of closes over and starts to, you know, knit together. The bleeding stops. He's still unconscious, but like looks like he's stirring. It looks like it.
Yeah.
He's about ready to come
looks
to.
like I'll kind of push him down and say, Stumpy, you with me?
His eyes kind of do that weird fluttering thing when you're like coming to from a really hectic sort of bad bit ofness. And he sort of like looks at you and looks around and he looks panicked, like...
Yeah, that's why I'm holding him down, because I kind of figured he'll be panicked.
Yeah, so he looks panicked and he does a quick count and sort of like reaches out and starts reaching around and you all...
Yeah,
well, everyone that... so Ash and Gramps would know that he's reaching, and I think Thaevan as well would know that he uses a pickaxe as a walking stick, as like a crutch, and he's reaching out and looking around. You can see like his crutch is sort of over there, so it seems like he's looking for that. But after frantically looking around, he sort of like flomps back and just sighs and he goes, "They did me good. They did me. What was I gonna do?"
I need you to calm down. They chopped more of your leg off. Unfortunately, I couldn't do more for it. But the lucky thing is, you still have your it was your bad leg.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't know what they're thinking. We'd never let anyone down the High Coast tunnels without proper authorization. No one would let him down. Nezzy wouldn't let him down, would ya? And she just kind of like sobs and cries into her hands again.
I promise you that these captains will not get away with this unjust thieving of bullying of the innocents. These fools have stolen from me and stolen from your leg. They will pay.
Were they the ones who took?
Were they the what?
Sorry, I asked Stumpy if they were the ones who also took his foot. Is this something that they do?
No, I lost my foot in an accident.
And they spit on your hard work. Even if you did lose a foot in an accident, to cut more of your leg off is a shame that you will not have to live with.
Well, don't get... I appreciate your passion, but you lot have already caused quite a stir with the captains. I wouldn't...
You may not be able to do anything right now, but I promise you, there will be a reckoning.
Well... well, I hope so. The captains have been keeping all of us under their boot for a very long time.
You'll see how they like it when they get under my boot. It will take time, but it will happen.
He kind of looks at you and sort of like slightly moves his head to the side like he's contemplating something. And then he looks over at Nezrietta and says, "Surely you'd know what this is all about. It's nothing. It's not your fault, Nezzy. You don't have to worry about me, but like, why would they think someone went in the High Coast tunnels?" And Nezrietta sort of, she sobs a bit and sort of like still holding her hands up to her face. Rather ashamedly, she sort of like speaks through her hands and says, because, well, because I'm the one that let someone through. I don't know how they found out, but it was me. I'm sorry, Stumpy. And with that, he sort of like just sighs and flops back to the ground, like, and throws a hand over his face, like, oh, really? And yeah, just sighs deeply, kind of taking a moment to take a breath.
Gramps pipes up to Nezrietta and says, "Who was this person and what did he say to get your approval? You were quite vehement with us that we were not to attempt to go anywhere near that."
Well, for starters, he can handle himself. I'm sure of that, but I don't know his name. I've only seen him a couple of times, but he knew all the right people to mention. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Possibly could have helped us out with something.
What is this something?
And at that, Stumpy sort of looks up and looks at Nezrietta and sort of like gives her a pretty harsh look, like you've said more than enough.
Gramps turns to Stumpy and says, "Look, we've just dealt with the problem you guys were facing. Down in the lower mines. We've solved that. You guys can go back to your normal mining operations. Maybe even made it easier for you to get access to some of those gems. But what else could be plaguing you?"
There's so much more to this place than you really know. There's really so much to it. I can't tell you everything. I can't tell you anything. I really don't know what I can tell you.
Who can?
Maybe you can point us to the right direction, no?
Well, you help Chenner out, and, you know, we might be able to come to an agreement.
Wait.
Who's the guy from the,
Yeah, this is the guy from the bait and tackle that I've got the secrets with.
Yeah.
Wait. You're a friend of Chenner's?
Anyone that's important's a friend of Chenner.
Right. So guys, I have something to tell you.
Oh, this should be great.
Well, I'm not telling you now, thanks. Okay, bye.
So saying, looks his calls and said, "I'm not in the mood. Spit it out."
I grab Thaevan and demand she answers.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are really worth it to even listen. I mean, you guys rather try and steal gems than actually help each other out.
Hold on,
That was
hold
just
on.
me.
There was one person who made a mistake, and the only people who stayed around to actually help were us three. You two completely bailed. You did nothing to help. You saved yourself. You're selfish and completely not of this team. How could you possibly say anything otherwise?
Listen, old man, why don't you shut the hell up? There's nothing you can do in those type of situations.
Except that we did. Without you. So thanks for that.
I am not going to put my life at risk. It's your own stupidity. If you want to get crushed in a rock slide, you be my guest. Don't ask me to put my life on the line when it's stupidity. When there's a shield war, you can ask me to be there. I've been there the entire time, defending every single fucking one of you. I put my life on the line plenty of times. But if you do something incredibly stupid, don't expect me to get crushed with you.
You mean like anger a bunch of people? Yeah, nice one. We were there, and fool.
Turtang stomps his foot. He's had enough. He is officially had one of his bad days. He says, "Vonnir, you don't want to listen. You
It's a
can
very
bail."
bad, terrible day.
And Thaevan, we want to know what's going on.
Chenner kind of... You know what? I just show them the note.
Alright, I'll reveal that to everybody.
I wanted it to be secret for longer. I liked having secrets.
Where is it?
Wait, you like having secrets or Thaevan?
Thaevan. No, I like having secrets. Thaevan hated it.
Okay, alright.
Not that one.
Not that one. Oh, sorry. Sorry, that's my bad.
Missed it. Dang it.
Good.
Wait, there's another secret you're hiding? Jesus Christ!
I already told you about that one anyway. It doesn't matter.
I can't read half
Someone-
these words.
If
Fanail Helamere is missing. The original suspected. Delaminus has been
Delaminos.
seen in Redwater. The captain's compromised, probably related. That's similar to the damaged letter we found.
Who found? Where did you get this from?
Chenna gave it to me that day I pretended to be drunk in front of you all.
And did he say who the originals are?
Pretending?
It's fine.
Turtank was one of the ones that realized I was pretending.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did he tell you who the originals were?
The only information I got was this note, and I was told to be discreet and that I had to stay sober and that I wasn't allowed to tell anyone anything.
So you
So you
failed
failed
all
all
three
3
fronts.
fronts.
And what were you supposed to do with this note? If he didn't tell you what the note was, then obviously you had to give it to someone.
No, I had to find out what was going on and report back to him.
Then why did he give you the note? If he didn't tell you what it was about. Butthole.
At this point, Vonnir slaps himself in the face as hard as possible.
I don't know how to answer that, Ash.
It probably even echoes at this point.
Your
But
turn
it
still what
makes
to do.
sense.
No, it doesn't.
Why would he and not tell you what it's about?
This is
Because-
a thief.
Okay, Fonlin's the bard that's gone missing. That's why I kept asking about her. I don't know who the originals or Delaminos are. I have to figure that out.
Oh, you had to figure it out. What the note
the other
meant.
note
note
mentions the
mentioned-
bard.
Yeah, there's
Wait.
a lot of overlap.
The
The
bard,
bard knows more.
Oh. Is there anything else?
I mean,
Any other information that he may have given you that talks about any agents or originals or Redwater?
Nope.
Soul?
this is literally all he gave me.
Oh yeah.
Gramps says, "Well, thank you for coming forward with this, Thaevan.
Coming
I mean-
forward with your riddle. Thank you.
To be fair, I was told not to tell anybody, so
I can appreciate that. That's not a problem.
okay.
Okay, so
Um,
where's
And
China going
hang on. I turned to the foreman and I'm like, look, I know you're a friend of Chenna's, but there's no way I can complete this without these guys.
Sorry.
I turned to the foreman and I'm like, look, I know you're a friend of Chenna's and he told me to keep it a secret, but there's no way I can complete this without these guys.
Gramps points out and says, "The second line, the original suspected. Could that be the original few that made it to this area? I.e., the captains?"
At that, Stumpy sort of looks around and sort of whispers down, "Nah. No, the originals are a lot more insidious than that.
Can you
They,
give us any information about them?
Original captains.
no, the originals are, look, I don't know a lot, but I'll tell you what I do know, because obviously you are working with Chenna, and that's got to carry some favor. There are a few factions at play. The captain's a small fry compared to these factions. The originals are a faction that are based in upper levels, and there's a couple of others. There's the Bulwark, and what's the other one? Oh, Cacophony, of course. Yeah, they're the three that I really know anything about. Basically, my understanding is the Bulwark, they're a guild or a faction that believe you can get to the end of the tower and there'll be answers there, or a way out, or something. I really don't know. The Cacophony, they're really good at finding information out, and they work really closely with the Bulwark. And from what I've been told, the originals, well, they're on the surface, they're trying to work out a way of getting the natives of the tower out as well as everyone else, but it doesn't seem right. Like, what they do, it seems like a power grab more than anything else. And I know the originals are working in Redwater, and I know they're working on the captains. I think they've got them on side. I don't know what they're after, but if I had to guess, it's got something to do with the high coast tunnels. You know, everything was fine with us mining them until maybe 6 months ago. And it was kind of taken over by the captains, and we were told strictly that we weren't allowed to mine down there. I don't know what's going on with that. I really don't.
So you don't know what's actually in the High Coast Tunnel?
Well, we were just mining them, but yeah, I don't know what they want with them.
Could we possibly get access to them?
Look, you've seen what they're like. You've seen what they do. If they get word of it, then it's my ass. Or my leg.
Yeah, you've given enough of this situation already.
I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but I don't think you'd get away with your life if they came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a good chance.
So let me get this straight. The captains have taken over ownership of the High Coast Tunnels, which you found, and the originals have some sort of leverage over the captains.
I don't know. I think I really don't know. It might be leverage. They might just have come to an agreement. You know, I don't know, but there's obviously something down there that the originals want. And he looks over at Nezrietta and he says, "So who the fuck did you let down there?" And Nezrietta just shakes her head and says, "He's a tall man, greyish skin, you know, wore a cloak, hood up, carrying a lot of weapons, like way more weapons than anyone really should. Other than that, he was pretty light. He did say, well, he did say Chenna had vouched for him, and well, the only one that would know about the High Coast Tunnels and Chenna is someone that should be doing us a favour, but I thought it was a good idea. Obviously, I was wrong." And Stumpy just shakes his head and says, I think I probably would have done the same thing, Nezzy. Don't worry about it. But we really need to know more. I wonder who spilled the information. It's not like one of our boys to go and rat to the captains. Something's got to be going on. I don't
Maybe
like
they have spies among you.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but all of my boys and girls, they don't really get on with the captains. You know, save face and keep peace, but we all suffer under the heel of their boot.
Maybe they were offered something that was quite lucrative, like maybe the location of the stairs.
I doubt it. If they'd offered them that, then they wouldn't be around anymore, and everyone's turned up for roll call.
I just mean, like, there's got to be something that they've leveraged over them, a promise for betraying their friends.
Yeah, it'd have to be something.
Could be higher station.
Maybe.
Is there anyone who's been holding a grudge against you guys? Anyone who's had a disagreement recently?
We're fair priced and we, we supply material to everyone. Like, can't think of a single reason why anyone would, harbour any kind of ill will. We provide the stone for the place and the metal and the gems. Sure, everything's been a bit light since the whole issue in the mid levels, but it's only temporary.
What questions did they ask to you? Like, is there any questions that may have given away any extra information?
Nah, they just said that they knew someone had gone down there and that no one had been authorized, and started pushing me around and busted up my lip. And as you can see, like, his lip is split and it's like been bleeding. The healing that Vonnir did has closed it, but he's still got blood on his face, and his eyes still, like, one of his eyes is still swollen shut, and he's got bruises all over his face, and he's kind of like holding one of, like, his hand to his right side, like he's taken a good hit to the ribs at some point.
Sorry.
He's been well worked over, but he just shakes his head and he says, they just asked about that. I can't tell you. Nothing out of the outstanding.
Okay, well, down in the mines that we just cleared out, there was a shield guardian and a mage with them. Would there be any reason why there would be those particular figures down there causing havoc for your...
I'd like to point out that you're not sure that it's a mage.
Oh, well, the rogue figure.
Yeah, they're wearing a robe and had armor on underneath, but did have a shield guardian. So, yeah.
Sorry, I know I should have just said rogue figure. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just looks over and he says, "It's been a good while since anyone's been investigating our area of the world, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything about that."
Gramps pipes up and asks, "Do you know anyone by the name of Delaminos?"
No, I couldn't tell you who Delaminos is. No idea.
Have you guys let down any Gensai that looks like insert description of lady that we found down there?
Stumpy sort of like shakes his head, but Nezrietta sort of like looks up and says, I knew one, but not really well. You come around about 8 months ago and was asking me questions. Really lovely lass. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but I didn't see her all that much.
What questions did she ask?
She was asking things about certain kind of powers or something or other. Like, I don't know. She was asking about dragons at one point, and I don't know. But
my bracelet. Is there anyone else you saw her with, or did she just hang out by herself?
No.
Is there anyone who might have more information about her?
No, I had a pretty cool ring. I remembered looking at that. I dabble in a bit of jewel crafting myself and jewelry. But yeah, pretty cool ring. Funny looking hat on it. It was pretty cool. But I couldn't tell you anyone that know anything. Maybe Chenna, but...
Would you be able to sketch us a picture of that ring?
Oh,
yeah. Sketch, because we all saw it.
Yeah. Did we see a ring when I looked in? Did I see...
ring.
And I saw a tech magic that was linked to the golem.
Marky, your microphone's really bleeding.
That's not Marky. It's Sandy pushing the push to talk.
That's me pushing the push to talk.
The reason I'm asking is she sounds like she's had a decent look at it. She understands jewelry. She's probably likely to be able to draw a decent rendition of it so we can use it as a visual prompt when asking other people questions.
We have the ring.
No, you guys didn't. Oh, actually, yeah, I suppose you would have, yeah. So, technically, Ash has that ring that she's kind of talking about.
Yeah.
So it wasn't in the thing, and I would have, I was cutting in and out at that time, so I couldn't explain. I just said that I got all the stuff that out of the crate, so that would have included rings and all. So what does the ring look like? Can I have a brief description?
I'm just grabbing it for you. Where is it? Not that one, not that one. Sorry, guys. Oh, of course, it is there. Alright, so... where is it? She had a signet ring emblazoned with a small green and purple jester's hat enameled onto the face.
Sorry, can you say that again?
It's a signet ring emblazoned with a small green and purple jester's hat enameled into the face.
I pull out the ring and I show everyone and I say, there's a weird, jester's hat.
Nezrietta looks over and goes, oh, that's it, and sort of raises her mechanical hand to cover her mouth.
Do you guys maybe recognize this insignia? Is it anything to do with any group that you've...
Siren, loudly, sorry, Turtok. It's a hat. A very, very nice hat.
Stumpy looks at it and pipes up and goes, oh, that's cacophony right there.
This is the place we need to go to find out more information about the originals, yes?
Oh, you can't go to cacophony. Cacophony is a faction. It's a group, a guild.
Okay.
Are they on the way to the pub?
No, they're on the higher levels. It's rare that we get agents down here.
What's an agent?
The cacophony.
Oh, the cacophony agent, right.
Cacophony, as in loud noise.
Graham asks both Nezrietta and Stumpy. Well, you guys have been around a long time. I suppose you guys know the name of all the captains.
Well, you do know that the captains are a organization. So, you got lowly little grunts that are captains, and you got some pretty powerful people that are captains. It's just like the group name.
Right, but I believe we have some information. More to the point, do you know any captains' names that begin with the letter S?
Yes, a couple. But
probably higher level.
I don't know about higher level. There's a few ship captains that I know. Soyan's probably the best of the group. Captain Soyan.
Soyan. And, he's a lower level captain.
Well, he's...
I recognize the name Soyan as the guy who we came up on the ship, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, Thaevan, we met Soyan before.
Gramps points out in the letter, note from Chenna, that it's signed as CS.
I think Sandy's asking about the note she found on the air gensai.
Yeah, as
So she's, yeah.
did we had about pantomime? That doesn't make sense.
I think she meant ask.
No, you guys haven't asked about pantomime?
Okay. I'm guessing Ash is gonna ask. Is Sandy's mic cut out again? Is that why?
I don't know. I keep dropping out. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, have you guys heard of pantomime at all?
Nah. Haven't heard of that.
Is it a type of fish?
What about Isul?
So,
No, I already asked about Isul.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, good. Okay, well, I'm pretty satisfied, and I feel like Stumpy might need a nap if everybody's asked what they need to ask.
Where's the drinks?
so, Gramps, what were you saying? Like, who were you showing what to about what?
He just went to the loo.
Oh, okay.
I think he was asking about the fact that the note from Chenna was signed CS.
Right. Well,
I don't. That
Ah.
was just Chenna, his signature, wasn't it?
Well,
Or it does
I-
say note from Chenna.
yeah, but
Chenna
I
handed
received
the note.
Yeah, Chenna handed me the note, but he never actually said that he wrote it. So
Oh,
I
okay.
had just assumed that it was Chenna, but now that Mark has brought that up, I am curious as to if that is the case.
We have Captain Soyan, which is CS,
Mm-hmm.
potentially.
Potentially.
The plus thickens.
So do we? Yeah, I guess I'll ask the foreman if he knows who CS is. If CS would be Captain Soyan.
well, it's possible. He is one of the better captains. Kind of what the captain should be like, really.
And do you happen to know what Chenna's initials are?
He's only got the first name.
All right. Well,
It's a bit like sure.
So I'm guessing CS has a high possibility of being Captain Soyan.
I feel like maybe we should go and approach Jenna about this after we have some drinks and,
And
a long rest.
what, reveal to Chenna that I've told you all about the secret he told me to keep? Sure.
Well, why don't we just like let you go and talk to him, and we'll hang back while you discuss it.
We'll
Chicken his goods.
Yeah, okay.
I can't understand.
Sandy.
What was just said.
Sorry. Thaevan, are you going to actually tell us everything this time?
Yes.
Well, I believe she has unfurled, relinquished all the information that she had up until this point.
We
This
assume
is,
she did.
well, I'd like to
okay.
believe so.
The note that was accidentally revealed was the one telling me to intimidate the dockmaster. You guys already know about that one.
I was talking about the note from CS.
Yeah. No.
And
Sandy's just referring to the fact that
She's
that Vonnir was
metagaming,
revealed.
yes.
Yeah.
no, I wasn't referring to that. I was referring to that you've already kept this secret. I wasn't metagaming.
Well, is there any other secret?
Yeah, I know.
I was,
It's okay.
yeah, so
Ah, okay.
Well, I did
Yeah.
say that it was kept secret because I was told to keep it secret.
Yeah.
yeah, but you kept the first secret of
Gramps is willing to put some level of trust in the fact that she has relinquished something to the group, which is huge for Thaevan. So,
And it's a he, not a she, so yeah.
sorry. So he has relinquished, something to the group, which is fantastic.
Well, Stumpy
Turtang
sort
is just getting huffy now and just wants a drink.
Stumpy reaches over for his pickaxe walking stick crutch. And Nezriota goes over and sort of passes it across to him, and he sort of gets himself up and he says, well, I don't know about you lot, but that kind of a beating is enough to make someone want a drink. I'm going home.
Yeah. I'm going to
Turtang
Stumpy's
says,
place.
spluttering blood out of his cheek.
Gramp uses the last of his spells to heal Turtang's face.
Yeah, so I'd point out the fact that with the healing potion, those cheek holes have closed over. They're gonna scar,
Mine.
but, you know, they're closed.
Can
I was
a
going to have a mad drinking trick.
can a level 1 cure wounds stop the scarring on such an excessive level?
No, I'm gonna say in this particular instance, like, the damage is done. The magical healing can only do so much. It's not gonna prevent scars from happening. I imagine if you looked at all of your bodies, like, without equipment on, you would see scars where you would see scars where years have taken hits and magically healed up.
Gramps just gingerly strokes Turtang's face.
The ball
so
hand,
pretty.
butt hand.
You don't know. Not much I can do for this. You're going to be wearing these for the rest of your life, but I would like to let you know that you did us proud in there, son.
You call me son.
I'm half imagining he's about to punctuate it with a slap on the cheek.
Then he slaps him on the cheek.
Yeah. So, okay, so what are you guys doing now?
Go to the pub.
I'm slapping Gramps
Can
first.
I-
I'm just slapping back.
Can I just
I didn't
touch base
No,
with
no,
the-
just a friendly clap on
Hold
the
on.
face.
with the trident?
Yep,
Because I've now got that off of Turtang.
yep.
Today, Michael, can you just give me those details for attacking and all that, right?
Mine's magical.
Yeah, no, I'll have to look into that because I don't think you're proficient with it.
Aww.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
I
not.
have it,
You're
I
not.
have it.
Yeah, you're not proficient with it, so you wouldn't get your proficiency bonus added onto it. I can add it to your character sheet. That's no problems. But yeah.
Or you could sell it.
I mean, it still gets added to the character sheet. I can sell it if I need to. Cool. Okay, pub time.
There you go.
Oh, dog.
All right. So you guys are heading back towards the Hazy Purple Tavern.
How many is it roughly?
Oh, that's a good question. So you guys went into the mine roughly lunchtime. I'm gonna say at this point it's like probably, 5 o'clock, maybe coming on 6 o'clock. So it's going evening.
That was a very efficient mining scouge.
Well, we do quite well when we work together, if you know what I mean. We do have
But Dracula walks up to Gramps, puts a hand on his shoulder and goes, Gramps, you gotta get over it.
I
I
like this one.
just
the rest of what you said dropped out. I completely missed it.
I told Gramps to get over it.
Gramps says, we have the other half of this job to deal with. The blacksmith, which I'm supposing we can do tomorrow once it's daytime.
Yep. And I'm just sculling my third ale and getting ready for bed.
We're not even at the pub yet, but okay.
Yes, we are. I'm at the pub.
Are we?
I
Okay.
got distracted.
Sorry,
went to the pub.
I'm looking at the picture.
Question.
Yeah.
With all this interference we're having, do you think this is related to like the wind and stuff we've been dealing with the last few
It's
days?
probably a good possibility.
Because it seems like
Just
everyone's
us.
dealing with some interference.
I'm not getting any issues, but you know that's part and parcel with being on the fiber optic network.
Hashtag NBN.
No, hashtag Opticom.
Like everyone's been dropping out in and out for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't. None of you guys have been dropping in and out, like except for you know occasional bits and pieces, but it hasn't been like a constant thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, these things happen.
Yeah.
We, for some reason, just get the end of sentences chopped off.
Yeah, that's
No,
been a
that-
recent thing for me.
That always happens with Eli. I think he's...
It's not just Eli. I've been getting that with other people I've been playing with.
Oh,
I used to
okay.
sort of like-
I think,
Yeah,
it's a,
thank you.
I think it's a Discord thing, because
Yeah.
every time Eli talks, it happens.
Yeah, and even when we're on a different channel, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's a
Um,
Discord thing.
I'm just wondering if maybe we should kind of wrap it up so that...
I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a
Well,
little tired.
Turtak's going to bed.
Okay, so yeah, so you all get in there and Salty sort of.
Punch your tanks in the face.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
So Salty pipes up when he sees you all. How are you guys all looking when you're starting to walk into the tavern?
I look fine.
Yeah, same here. I mean, like, my shield's looking a little bit melted. But besides that, pretty healthy.
Yeah, I'm pretty healthy too. My arm is a little bit rusted, but
I'm more like talking about your demeanor. Are you going in jovially or are you going in like a bit sour?
this is
or-
definitely not.
Same with Ash.
Turtak is cranky because of bludgeoning and stabbing in the face and general. You kept me away from drinks too long, and just skull
Thanks
three.
coming to the drinking part of the party.
Well, Druxilla's generally in a pretty
Ash
happy
is going
disposition.
straight to bed.
Vonnir quickly goes up to the bar. He's got free drinks to use up.
Yeah, so well, Salty sees Ash head straight to bed and sees the general state of everyone and sees Vonnir walk up. How's Vonnir? How's his demeanor at the moment? Is he like happy-go-lucky or?
I'm annoyed. It's like drinks.
Well, Salty sort of just looks at you and starts pouring one and goes, "What rough day for you guys, is it?"
Right.
When someone does something stupid, others have to put it.
Well, I suppose I wouldn't know much about that. Yeah, here's your drink. What about the rest of you lot? Drinks?
Drink.
Yeah, let's have a drink.
Would Chenna be at the store at this time?
You could find out.
I'm asking, Salty, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you might be closing up, but can't see any reason why you wouldn't.
No, I'll do it in the morning, and I head off to bed. Like I say, I'll do it in the morning. And
Famous
Just-
last words.
he,
Definitely requiring a long rest before anything else happens. I have nothing.
Salty just yells out to Thaevan and goes, "Oh, night, I guess." And, you know, serves drinks to those who want them.
I'm surprised he doesn't hate us for how grumpy and horrible we are to everyone.
Alright, so yeah, I guess that's a pretty good spot to wrap it up for tonight. So you all, you know, have your fill, and then eventually go and find your sleep. I'll say just for expediency that yeah, you'll get your long rest. So next session we'll pick it up and you all will be well rested and ready to go.
And level 5.
Nope, not yet.
Fuck yeah!
Turtak goes to bed.
I would be lying if I said you were far away from it. You're really close. Actually,
Just give it to us.
you guys could potentially. I mean, like if we had a big session and you got through everything really efficiently, you could potentially level twice in the one session. It is possible. You're that close to a bunch of bits and pieces.
Leave that for next week. I am
But-
exhausted.
Oh yeah, no, I'm done for tonight. But yeah, so so you get your rest, and we will pick it up. I don't know if we'll continue this next Friday. I might have to organize a one shot because with two characters. Two people missing for this particular session, it is a pretty significant session. I kind of don't want to run this one without a full party. So I will probably try and put together a one shot. Unless anyone else wants to run a one shot, I'm quite happy for someone else to have a go at DMing if someone wants
Marky!
I'm not prepared for that.
Okay, not a problem. So
Come on, I reckon you'd be a good one.
I reckon you would too, but maybe we'll save it for one of the dates over the Christmas period that we're not all together or something. I don't know.
You're gonna be like Christmas.
It'll be like it'll be like a Krampus campaign or something like that.
Oh my god, Krampus.
But we'll see what happens.
D&D version of the Grinch style Christmas.
So we'll come up with something anyway. But so we'll save it here for tonight, and well, next Friday I'll try and put something together. Probably won't be in Ojit's Tower, but I'll try and put something together. And well, we'll see you all next session. Night all.
Hey, thank you. Bye.
Don't forget to smash that like button, and while you're down there, leave us a comment and subscribe.
Lion?
Don't forget to hit that bell button.
Yep, do that one.